One thing that is shocking about the prior government, about the government we inherited the White House from, is if I, on January the 21st, in fact, I did ask this question, where are the biggest deficiencies in our supply chains? What are the 100 products that we're completely reliant on some other entity to make for us? Where are they made, and how hard would it be to onshore that manufacturing? I asked that explicit question, and the answer was, we don't know. Nobody in the prior government had actually asked these very fundamental questions. And so what is so crazy about the hyper-globalized era is that you had these basic questions about the brittleness of our supply chains that were completely uninvestigated by the very people who supported globalizing those supply chains. We were actually governed by complete morons, and we didn't even realize it until the Trump administration started to get underneath the hood of our government.
It is the big broadcast. Happy Hour on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACB, and your gracious, occasionally truculent host. And I'm leaning towards truculent today.
Donald Trump is about to see the United States.
Ella Dubuque and Master Thespian.
He releases the United States hidden $150 trillion trust fund. It will send the American empire roaring back to global dominance. It could land him on Mount Rushmore or the $100 bill. And it will deliver a once-in-a-lifetime wealth-building opportunity to investors who take the right steps.
He was running for president, back in,
for years. We've been told America is bankrupt.
How long ago was that?
That's a long time ago.
What? Greg's a man of routine.
Because I think he was when Obama was running, and Obama just whooped his butt. Right.
Yeah, have you heard about this rally?
Sorry.
What are we listening to?
That was my phone acting up. My bad.
It's tuned into the right station. Can't complain about that. Yeah. I'm so well, we have no transition time here.
No, not at all.
It's more like Joey evacuates, and I'm the FEMA that comes in after that. But
hey, you actually show up?
Well, yeah. That's an important part.
And I don't ask who you voted for before I offer help. Well, I kind of know who you did. This is a thing that I got an email on.
Mm-hmm.
Stand by, please. All right, this is supposed to be.
Ooh, sounds important.
I know.
A day of action.
Day of action?
Saturday, June 14th, 10 to noon, at the Department of Archives and History. And it's being brought to you by Alabama Resistors of Indivisible.
What?
Montgomery 50501 Freedom Fighters and the Democratic Socialists of America.
Oh, well, there you are. Okay. That tells me all I need to know.
A peaceful demonstration for No King's Day to remind the current administration that this country is not ruled by any king, except for the 8 years we were ruled by King Obama.
Mm-hmm.
And then the king's jester, Joe Biden. I'm sick of this!
How about those 400 liberal judges out there? They sure are acting like kings, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, just find a politically appointed judge and kneecap the king. It's 5 months. 5 months. Trump's been in office.
I know.
And he's a king.
These are people who need hobbies. These are people who need lives. Their only hobby is to gripe and complain about everything. Right?
You had 12 of the last 16 years, and you really did a great job epping things up, okay? Just shut up. Go away. Have your parade. By the way, circus-themed attire is recommended. That's appropriate. Protest signs, guest speakers, performances, resource tables, a taco truck. Maybe Joe Biden's going to be. Woo-hoo. Activities for children. Yeah, that sounds like a real family-friendly place to me. Bring the kids.
Where is this happening again? Where is this happening?
At the Archives and History.
Okay, so why is it happening at a state funded building properties?
State property.
What's going on there? Why is that happening?
I don't know. All I've heard.
I guess
don't they do a lot on the Capitol steps though? Too?
They do. They probably applied for a permit and all that. They do have that nice big parking lot behind the Archives building that you can do in. So maybe they're doing it here.
Mm.
All right, enough about
politics.
What do we have to eat?
Actually, key lime donut. And I have some Vermont beef jerky.
Yeah, I've got some yummy yaki over here if you want to.
I did not bring any Sweet.
I never heard of Yamiyaki, and then I had a meal from there last week.
It's
It's
a
good.
restaurant in Montgomery.
They've got two of them. One in East Chase, one at the On Street Walmart.
Huh. I did not
I mean, the
know
name is
in
kind of
that
cute.
area.
Well, I'll call in and go pick it up and leave quickly. But it's good stuff. They've got a lot of these bowls that you can purchase. They put a whole bunch of ingredients in. Like this has got steak and peppers and pineapple and cabbage and udon noodles and so good.
Well, I just whipped
That
out
sounds
the
awesome.
second half of a package of peanut butter sticks. Peanut butter sticks.
Peanut butter sticks. Woo. Okay. You know, when I was a kid, they used to sell the space sticks that Pillsbury claimed the astronauts eat these. So you kids should eat these too. They were horrible.
Yeah, they pulled the same crap with Tang.
It tasted like chalk.
Yeah, it tasted like they filled it out of a toilet after somebody had used it. And
Yeah.
put it, bottled it up.
Well, I begged my mother to buy them, and once we tried them, I told her, "Please, Mom, don't ever buy that for me ever again." No, I think she got a good laugh out of it.
All right, that's all I got. 312.
Right.
Oh,
What else can we talk about? The weather. There's a lot of weather out there.
it's Florida weather.
A lot of weather. You know, some places it's raining, and some places it's not. Some places it's sunny, and some places it's not.
Yep.
But it's a little warm.
I can't stop reading this stupid flyer.
This is entertaining.
No, crumple it
I'm,
up.
I'm excited about the whole circus themed attire. What does that mean? You want to dress like a clown? You want to dress
That sounds
like
appropriate.
a tightrope walker, or cotton candy?
What does Donald Trump done that makes anybody think he thinks he's a king? Because he's enforcing laws? Is that what kings do? Like immigration and stuff like that? Trying to cut taxes, trying to balance a budget that is woefully out of whack.
But if you have a mental idea about something, this is just reinforcing that mental idea. They already think Trump is evil, Trump is bad, so they're doing everything they can just to pile on that mental image.
No, you know what's evil? Having a fake president for 4 years and having people we didn't vote for run as White House for him. That's evil.
Yep. Did you see Peter Busey showing the signatures at the White House briefing?
No, I didn't.
5 pardons that signatures were identical, absolutely identical.
I
So
did see something.
the only one that was not, that was different, was the one for Hunter. But it was really, really wild. Oh, yeah. KJP has announced she's going to be an independent.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that.
And she's got a book. It's like all these people we're seeing coming out of the woodwork. Like,
Talk about what? What it's like to lie your ass off for 4 years? And
I read something that said the broken Biden admin. That's what it was about.
well, I wish her luck. I
what
don't.
was broken?
I'm not
I mean,
gonna be buying
besides
it.
the guy that ran it.
You probably have libraries buying it, so they can put it on their shelves.
Right.
That book racket is
Decommission.
money laundering
Money.
at the highest level. That's mostly what that is. Now, in her case, first of all, I don't think she has the brains to write a book.
No.
So somebody wrote this for her, and she's going to make some money.
Well, that's the whole point of it, making money.
Somebody's got to be the next Joy Reid, right?
The problem is,
Now, by the way, Joy Reid is now blaming racism
of course,
for her ouster at MSNBC.
that's about the only thing she's got. But that's the thing. If you write a book, it's no guarantee people are going to read it. Well, Hillary Clinton discovered that the hard way. You know,
We did have an author on who wrote a book about Hillary called Unlikable.
Unlikable. Oh, yeah.
They don't seem to understand how unlikable she is. I mean, first of all, I don't believe she got that many votes when she lost to Donald Trump in 2016. I don't believe she won the popular vote at all, especially given what we've learned since. But even so, I you try to stand in the shoes of the other side. You used to be able to do that. Can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Talk about kings and queens. Ugh.
Well, some people just want to complain. They are not
Well,
happy
there's that
unless
too.
the ship is burning. They don't want things to go well. They thrive on the chaos. They thrive on the lunacy. They thrive on throwing rocks at people. And those people you just can't reason with, can't argue with them. It's like the whole thing about people who believe the earth is flat. There's a lot of people out there who
I
are
know.
flat Earth people,
Mhm.
and you try to present evidence, you try to present photographs, you try to present all sorts of arguments, and they will still not believe you. You can even take them up in a spacecraft up into
Well,
orbit.
especially if it's people who believe it because of what's in the Bible.
Well, but what's in the Bible
Oh, no.
talks about the earth being round.
Now,
Look in the book of Job.
listen to this. I know that.
Oh no, we're gonna start. Pamela and I are gonna start fighting.
Florida high school
it's not
student.
me,
Oh, okay.
but no, I know people.
Well, I know. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Shinola.
Florida high school students were drilled for being straight, asked to consider being gay. Straight people are blamed for overpopulation. What? During a course for high school kids in Miami-Dade County, imagine that students assigned to complete a sexuality-focused questionnaire that asked a series of bizarre questions such as, what do you think caused your heterosexuality? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? What caused my heterosexuality? Can I get this treated?
By the way, people, we stream on YouTube, so you can see this live. Find us at Happy Hour, Greg Goodell.
I'll be the one wearing the jacket that zips up from behind.
Greg Budell's on
In the
the
studio.
that exploding right now. You see the
What do you think caused your heterosexuality?
Well, I could hazard a guess as to the
Who are the mother?
sexuality of the person that wrote the questionnaire. But,
And we're just getting started here. Is it possible that being straight is just a phase you may grow out of? Well, if I haven't grown out of it by now, I don't think that's going to happen.
yeah,
I kind of enjoy it. I like being heterosexual.
I do too. I find women very appealing. We're sitting here in the presence of the goddess. Pamela is one of the most beautiful women in the entire world.
Yes, and please make sure that thought is communicated.
Communicated.
Somebody mentioned that, Pamela gets a lot of attention on the thread on YouTube. I said, good.
No, I don't.
We got to have something to balance out the two of us. I mean, I look like I just walked out of a homeless shelter, Greg looks.
Are you
snappy.
making fun of me because I have burn holes in the top of my staff shirt
You
here?
got burn holes?
Who
Oh,
even
wow.
notices that?
Women notice that. That's what women are for. They're for noticing and fixing and repairing. God knows I work with a male repair woman every morning. And I always
got burn
find
holes.
something I can work on.
You got burn holes in your shirt. You smell like smoke. You look like Einstein.
Let me ask our audience at large if you are in fact
I am.
heterosexual. Do you think you're going to grow out of this phase? That's what they're asking kids.
Well,
That's
like you're
That's
wrong for
not
being.
a conversation to have with a kid, especially
Now-
a kid who's not your own.
I must confess that I thought George Michael was a pretty attractive-looking man, but it never turned me to the dark side.
Who?
George Michael.
Oh, okay.
What did I say?
Sorry, I was reading a comment
Michael
at
Jordan?
the same time I was
Yeah.
trying to understand what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
you
some
can
men I
think
think
that
look
people.
attractive.
Yeah,
but
you
I'm
can
not.
think that.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
to say this, but I'm
There's
going
some women.
to need binoculars to read the YouTube comments. I can't see them from here because the computer is all the way up there.
Okay, I'm getting feedback that our stream is not good. How do we have
It's not good.
the
I usually go
engineer
to the
look at it?
doctor. What?
Oh,
Oh, you mean this stream?
Yes.
I don't know how
It's choppy, it's buffering, it's
Mhm.
lagging.
interesting. It'd be some of the work they're doing in the building.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we have
No.
electricians out here.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know what they're working on, but they are. There's a lot of wires hanging out of the ceiling.
Oh.
So I think that could be the cause. Let's wait a while and see if it does it itself.
Okay.
We apologize not only for the inconvenience a bad signal may cause, but for being heterosexual.
Now, I must.
I'm
hoping
not
to grow up.
apologizing.
I do have to
I'm sure.
confess that there have been some women saying that made me attracted to them. Was one of those that I'm
I can
not.
relate to that. I mean,
Even though I am a heterosexual, I couldn't tap that.
Well, see, that's the thing. Attractiveness is subjective.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody.
Well, and here's the thing too. A lot of guys, they look at a really beautiful woman and they worry about what's on the inside. She looks great on the outside, but
Is she crazy?
is she crazy? Exactly. And it's one of those things you got to get to know people. That's one of the things I like about you is that you are a very smart, very articulate person,
Oh,
and you're very capable.
I have
In
people.
addition,
I'm talking to her.
in addition to being beautiful, So,
Oh, you're talking to Pamela.
oh yeah.
I thought maybe. You were
Well, you are an attractive man, but I love you, but not in that way. Okay, just want to let you know. I'm firmly heterosexual. I'm really glad. So,
What's Dan Crenshaw on
And,
Fox News?
and the
this
difference
morning?
between us, as me being a straight woman and you being a straight man, I
Yes.
can find some women beautiful who
Mhm.
you're not going to find attractive.
Yeah.
And
This is
you're
true.
gonna-
Women,
You're
no.
going to think that there are men who are the ideal man for a woman,
Yes,
and I'm going to
yes.
say, "Oh, what?"
Listen,
Yeah,
go way
exactly.
back, way back. Anytime I've got just the person for you,
Ooh, yeah.
And you're like,
run. That means they're going to connect you or hook you up with somebody you have no business being.
Yeah.
Because what you say is 100% true.
"Yeah."
Hi, Greg. Do you like macrame?
And I've had people recommend it to me. "Oh, you're going to love this." Do you even know me? I'm offended. I gave you that impression.
Yeah.
I am texting Jake Long.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get her in on this discussion.
Yeah.
She would be a
We
perfect
got a
person for this
topic
discussion.
here we'd love to get your opinion on.
There was something I was going to bring up and I forgot what it is now. Joey and Eddie were talking about the water pipe thing and all that. Have y'all gotten these little envelopes in the mail with the city of Montgomery? Well, no, because you live in Prattville. City of Montgomery is sending out these things saying, "Hey, your water pipes out to the street are not covered."
Oh,
by
yeah,
the
yeah,
city.
yeah. I've seen
And
those.
if you pay a little money, we'll make sure
Yeah,
it's
that's
taken care of for you. And I'm just like, what's going on here?
Everybody is trying to steal. This is the world we live in. I got a thing today. Thanks for your subscription. The amount of $349 will be due. What? Yeah, I had to check my account to make sure there was no debit there for that amount of money.
Oh yeah.
But there are just so many people finding a way, whether it's email, texting, sending you stuff that looks authentic enough to be scary to make you think.
Yeah.
And then,
Well,
but that's almost always bullcrap.
That's part of the confidence scheme, trying to get people's trust. And thankfully, a lot of people are savvy to the tricks that people do. The latest thing that we've been dealing with at AUM is the phishing scams, where people will send you an email and the email address that's spoofed is your supervisor. And we've been told in no uncertain terms, if you see something that looks strange,
Let me give you an example.
don't click on it.
Let me give you an example of something that's very suspicious.
Yeah. Suspicious.
And this started out, hi, Greg, I thought I'd give you a big hint, but chickened out and deleted it. Instead, it hints to figure out who I am, yet some are easier than others. And it gives a single big thing. Long time ago, Florida, used to listen to you on the radio. And
just enough detail to make you think, is this somebody I know?
yeah, well, AI is really getting to be scary.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
This is really getting to a point now where when they talk about it, just having a mind of its own and doing whatever the hell it wants to do, you wonder.
Well, you're
One
going to start.
person gets a hold of that, we're screwed.
You're going to start seeing some television shows and movies that are going to be made exclusively by AI. AI writes the script. AI generates the characters, generates the special effects. It's coming. Because
Well, I knew this was bogus because after I received I helped you get through your divorce. I said early 90s, and that would have been the only possible time.
Right.
And I got back in reference to, well, now I know this is fake.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's at the other end of this, but I'm not. And besides, if somebody wants to reconnect with you, whether it's on Facebook or some other form of communication, I don't want problems. I'd rather not hear from you if you're going to do this.
Whenever I post something on Facebook, I always go back and look at the comments just to make sure. I can post, "Hi, you look great on Facebook,
yeah.
and I want to reach out to you, and you can be friends." Click on. Yeah, I'm like, "No, thank you." That's when I quickly dump it. I block the account. I report it to Apple, and make sure that nobody can click on it, because I'm afraid one of my friends, would look at that and click on it, and they get it.
Is that like when you have posts that are public on Facebook?
Yeah. And so I get all sorts of requests from people, and I just don't click on them. And if I don't know you, I'm not going to be clicking on it. I have a few people that are friends of mine that I know who they are, that I made friends, but I'm very, very careful about that, because I'm suspicious.
Let me get a word in here from Montgomery Men's Health.
Yes.
Because, guys, we all have goals. We all have things we'd like to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And at Montgomery Men's Health, it's not just about sexual health, although they can assist you with any issue that you may be dealing with, from PE to ED. And there are solutions, by the way, for those things that you don't see advertised. If you're really looking for an alternative, those things you tried and not work, these are the people who you call at 334-440-3663. But we're heading into the hot weather season, and everybody's stamina gets tested at this time of year by the heat, humidity, and it can leave you feeling lethargic and not in the game. It may be more than that, though. It could be a low T level, and if that's the case, there's one quick way that costs only $99 to find out at Montgomery Men's Health at 334-440-3663. If that number is low, it's affecting everything in your life, from your quality of sleep to burning calories to having the energy to just get more than through your day, but have a day beyond that. And that's why it's important. And they can fix it right there. Again, the number is 334-440-3663, or learn more at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. It's 329.
Traffic is brought to you by Dillon Rings. Dillon Rings has great watches and beautiful rings. Or have Josh design a piece of jewelry for you. Shop Dillon Rings now at 119 Brown Springs Road. And check them out on Facebook.
Sky Mosley News after traffic.
Well, traffic is a little busy all over the area this afternoon. We do have a disabled truck in the right-hand lane, Northern Boulevard westbound at Lower Wetumpka Road. So watch out for those folks. Other than that, buckle up, drive carefully. No real issues. Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka. We will keep you updated. Haynes Ambulance is there for you both on the ground and in the air. From a simple patient transport to life or death situations, Haynes is ready at a moment's notice. Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Jack Ingram Nissan. Shop now at jackingramnissan.com.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A federal judge has sentenced a man to more than 16 years in prison on drug charges. 41-year-old Corey Jermaine Burrows was convicted of possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute and maintaining a drug premises in Montgomery. Investigators recovered more than a pound of meth from the local resident. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office has issued a warning of a scam that may be spreading in our area. The phone scam involves persons impersonating law enforcement, claiming that a person has an arrest warrant, missed jury duty, or owes a fine. If you receive such a call requesting payment, simply hang up. A teenager has been arrested following a dispute at a Dothan movie theater. 18-year-old Jordan Mackay Calisti was denied entrance to an R-rated movie when he was unable to provide proper identification. Calisti then pulled out a firearm and began shooting into the air, hitting cars and buildings in the area. Calisti was arrested at the scene on multiple charges. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Used car. Visit jackingram.com to view our selection of luxury, domestic, and imported vehicles. With 8 locations and online at jackingram.com. Jack Ingram Motors is sure to have the perfect car for you.
All right, I see William Blake on the phone. Good afternoon, my friend.
Good afternoon. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Hey, you gave me a key lime pie once, man. You're always number one in my book.
Yeah, that was a good one too. That was one of those special. That's been a while too, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
My wife and I were at the Seafood Bistro and ran into you in the parking lot. That was great. It was great.
Yeah.
It's always fun. We always run into you at random places. You know, you and I do.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's just I don't know. I got a lot of evil twins out there. You never know.
Oh,
But,
okay.
William B is that bomb about man about town type of guy. You got to be ready to just get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, I show up out of nowhere. You know, sometimes you get in the studio and there I am. You know.
Yeah, like the other day.
You just show up
in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go retake the test that I took last week. You know, they needed another cup. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of scary. I have to take a random drug test, you know, from time to time. My name pops up on the list, whatever. And that kind of concerns me that I had to go retake it because somebody checked the wrong box. And I'm like,
ooh,
yeah,
ooh, yeah.
I don't like that.
No.
I mean,
I thought maybe
you checked the wrong sample, you know?
Yeah, I thought maybe you ate some poppy seed muffins or something. You know?
No. You know, it just somebody checked the wrong box, and I had to go take another one. It was supposed to be a random, and somebody had checked pre-employment on this thing, which you know that doesn't really make a difference, but it kind of concerns me. You know, if they can make that mistake, and
yes,
you know, what else can they screw up?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, maybe they can find out the cause of my heterosexuality. I don't know. But,
get back to us if they do, okay? Because we're really going to get into this. In fact, we're going to talk about Jacqueline about it in just a minute here.
That's nuts, man. I don't know what's going on with this.
Of course, William B, I have to ask you the question: have you ever won fights? Because you know, like that movie Men in Tights that Mel Brooks did. You know, we can be real men and still wear tights.
Well, you know, there was a. I'll think of it later and send you a message. There was a song about want to be a pirate like the Pirates of Penzance.
Yes,
George Harrison. I think George Harrison did that on like a British TV show. Yeah,
gentlemen, I hate to interrupt, but my guest is here. But I'd like to play this one for William B as we move on, if I may, sir.
See you, buddy.
Yeah.
We're men, we're men in tights. Yes! We go around the floor swinging the fights. Yeah! We're men in tights. We come from the rich and give it a poor, that's right. We look like Nancy's. But don't get us wrong, or else we'll put out your minds. We're men in tights, tights. Always on guard, defending the people's rights. When you're in the fix, just follow the men in tights.
Who can rely on to defend our rights? You are 100% correct. He's on the line. Good afternoon.
Woo-hoo. Hi. Hey.
Game one tonight, right?
Oh my God. I have been unwell for days.
Well, I am rooting for the Cats.
Thank you.
I want them to win legitimately, but I also don't want to have to deal with you if they lose. So I have a personal.
And this is like a good U.S. versus Canada match, isn't it?
Again,
yeah.
Last year, and we're taking the cup.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
I'm crazy, guys. Like, you know what I mean? I woke up this morning like it was Christmas morning. I'm like, puck dropped to 7. Let's do this.
You did say puck.
Yeah.
Okay, just no. Double checking. Hey, I asked you to call a little earlier than we normally get to talk to you because I wanted you to hear what we were just sharing on the air. And it's this
the heterosexual thing. Yeah.
Yeah. This is in Florida. This from the Daily Wire. Florida high school students were drilled for being straight as to consider being gay and told that straight people are blind. Now, during a course for high school kids in Dade County, I still call it Dade, even though it's Miami-Dade.
Yeah.
Listen to these questions that students were assigned. What do you think caused your heterosexuality? Is it possible that being straight is just a phase you may grow out of? And considering the menace of hunger and overpopulation, could the human race survive if everyone was straight like yourself? This is in Dade County High School. Like,
I'm
it's
sorry?
yeah. This is how insidious this infestation is.
This has layers to it.
I'm just-
Because
Go ahead, Deborah.
I was just thinking, like, I mean, if you're of the same mind that you're just born straight, then you have to think that people are just born gay, right?
Mhm.
I do.
Mhm.
I think
But
that's what
people
people
ask all the time, is you being gay a phase?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of question.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you going to
it is.
grow out of
Yeah.
being gay?
Yeah.
Well, there's-
And you're not.
You're not.
But students have.
no.
But they don't have any place asking that in schools. I don't know why the conversation even comes up when it's not your child.
But
Really,
Sexual
Just
like I don't want
preference
any
has
other
no
adult
place
talking about
in
my
education.
kids, talking to my kids about that.
yeah.
No.
But
It's not
the whole
appropriate.
point, what do you think caused your heterosexuality?
But they ask that about gay people too. It's
Yeah, I
the same
see what
question.
Pamela's
Just
saying.
ask.
I agree.
They do. They just. That's what it is. It's trying to get this conversation going.
Mhm.
And I do think it goes both ways. I think that if it's not okay to ask a homosexual person, do you think that you were born this way or was it a choice? I think it's equally fair to ask a heterosexual person that question. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
What I'm not okay with is the sexual orientation or preference of children being placed anywhere in an academic setting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
I just there's a time and a place, and I don't think that that's it. Me sitting across from a homosexual friend of mine and saying, "Hey, we're in a good place, like we're friends, can we have this conversation?" is one thing.
Right.
You asking my 17-year-old is a completely different story. And,
Is
like,
it a health
that's
class
not okay.
where they're talking about human biology?
What's
And
that?
Well, even in South Florida, they haven't taught real health since the early 90s. I mean, they had a true health class down in Broward, Dade, Palm Beach counties in probably 20 years.
Not like
Wow.
my health class with Mr. Krasnowski in Chicago, who always made sure we washed our dingleberries after swimming class.
Right, but even then, it was so taboo to talk about in school that they separated the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
And it was like a one day. It wasn't like a sex ed. It was truly a health class where they're like, "All right, girls, this is what might happen to you during your prepubescent years into puberty and on."
I think that they
And-
should separate based on sex when they're doing that kind of education because it opens more opportunity for honest conversation.
Right.
What are they gonna?
Classmates of the opposite sex.
Yeah, I think that's
I think I was in like seventh. I was in middle school. I think I was in like 7th or 8th grade when they had that conversation. It wasn't a class. It was like a half a day, and you had like the talk type of deal. It
Right.
wasn't the
Yeah.
birds and the bees, but it was like a these are what hormones are, and this is why this is happening. And if you have any questions, this is a safe place.
Right.
It wasn't. Are you gay or straight? Like, why do you think you're that way? Like, you don't need to have that conversation.
And I think it's crucial too for I think a lot of men don't understand women's physiology. They don't understand at all because they're not taught about the menstrual cycle and giving birth and all
People
that.
don't understand a woman's physiology. Come on now, like.
Yeah.
No, I still haven't figured that
But
out.
the idea of
I
keeping them
mean-
separated so that you talk to the guys separately, talk to the girls separately. I think that's important because it takes that.
A girl doesn't need to understand a guy's physiology in 8th grade. A
Right.
boy does not need to understand a woman's menstrual cycle in 8th grade. They're
Right.
not emotionally equipped or mature enough.
No. And they're not going to ask questions about it either in front of
Mm-mm.
the guy that they like or the
Yeah.
girl that they
Yeah,
have
of
a
course
crush
not.
on.
Of
Like,
course not.
no, absolutely not.
Although I,
Most 20-year-olds don't ask questions. Thank God we have Google. That's how half of our population survives.
Hey,
you know,
I Google
Jesus.
everything.
What were
I
you
mean,
gonna say,
I'm
Greg?
sure ChatGPT can help people figure it out now, but like we had to figure it out by ourselves.
Yeah, that's the right way. On the streets. Getting it. I learned about those things from Phil Schultz. And we're still friends.
Trial and error.
Try back into slot B. Is that what you're saying?
Crazy to me. That is crazy. Those are my people. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Let me find out. Elmore County, if you're listening, let me find out. We have those questions. Come home one day, and I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my religion.
Because that was a South Florida story, I wanted to get your take on it early. I mean, what do you think caused your heterosexuality? There's got to be a million good answers for that one.
I mean, I'm just telling you guys.
You freak
if
you.
something like this ever comes home, I'm responding, and it's gonna be good. I'm
Ooh.
also making it.
Oh, please give me a heads up. I want to be there when you take the ball and go after it.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah,
woman will
like,
put the fear of
yeah,
God into you. You do not want to get on her bad side.
What's wild too is Miami-Dade County is red. Like, what is
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Especially in the
It's one of
Latin
those rogue
cultures.
teachers.
They're not into
No,
that.
that's another thing. In the Latin culture, from the people that I know, now I'm not making a general statement, but from the hundreds of Latin families that I know, people that I grew up with, they don't talk about sexuality like that.
No.
It's not
No.
something that you speak about. So
Mm-mm.
for Miami-Dade, which is a large Latin community, I'm surprised there's not huge outrage. Plus, it's a very conservative Catholic
Yes.
county
Yeah.
because
Yes.
of the Latin.
My
Yes.
redneck family talking about mental health. It's not happening.
Right. Like, what? I don't know anything about that. My family doesn't know anything about that.
Well, I really appreciate
My
you.
parents are probably listening.
Hey,
Mine too.
That's Uncle Bruno. He ain't right.
I got to run, but I would love to
I know,
use you
but-
again later in the show. If you're,
I'm getting ready to walk into Publix because I need to go pick up my children because, Puff drops at 7. So
yeah.
I did have to work a little early to get home and get my domestic
Hey,
done.
one last thing. I wanted to thank you again for the everlasting love and joy that I received from calls.
No,
I enjoyed those so many different ways. They were just, thank you.
I got a new meatball recipe that I'm going to try.
A new
I will
one.
be your
So
guinea pig.
you might be my taste tester.
I'm happy to do that anytime.
Okay.
Anytime for you.
Well, if not, you already know I'm throwing a 4th of July party, so there will be meatballs.
I'm there.
Right. I've got a hat I'm going to wear.
I'm coming just for the meatballs.
Even if a doctor tells me I have a month to live, I'm still going to find a way to survive to your party.
That's fine. I'll come pick you up.
And then you can bury me in meatballs. Thank you,
That's
Jake
fine.
Quentin.
Have a good show, guys.
Love you. All right, Cameron, I need you to be patient. I kind of had to jazz up the hour schedule here. I know we're expecting a blessed event soon. The arrival of Susan Woody's car from Montgomery Peabody. Oh my God, she is so excited. If she just would listen once in a while, but she can't. I don't know what it is.
Women have to figure things out on their own time.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we realize that this is a weakness that we have. But
When her crappy old paint
it is
job,
true.
when her crappy old paint job started to bubble up, I said, "Take it to Donnie Turner, get it done right."
She had to figure it
Oh
out
no,
herself.
no. Take it to Donnie. Yeah, I'm gonna do it my way. Well, guess what? And then after she knocked the side view mirror off,
Yep.
I said, "Take it to Donnie Turner." She said again. Guess where the car is? At Montgomery Paint and Body. 27 with a W, because the question always is, do you want it fixed or do you want it fixed right?
Exactly.
We get there. We know you guys are right. It's just a long and windy road for us to figure it out.
Well, you've also had some issues with men not telling the truth. Okay. And that, you burn me once.
Listen, there's a man on this planet walking on 2 feet, and there's many candidates for this honor, but if there's one person that you should believe every time, it's Donnie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel inadequate as a human being in his presence. He's that kind of a character guy. So
Because you won't let a car get out of the
No.
shop unless it's perfect.
exactly. I mean,
And-
even Rich Thomas.
Yeah.
Rich said, it's okay. It's fine. Donnie said, no.
Mm-hmm.
I am not
Mhm.
signing off on this until I fix this one little thing with the paint. And that's what you want, that kind of effort towards Good as new, maybe better. 27 Rec with a W on the Boulevard at East Shirley Lane. Now, let's see if Skipper has some potential business for them.
Oh, my goodness. We have a couple of accidents. First of all, South Boulevard at Rosa Parks. Got a moderate crash there. Please watch out for emergency vehicles. Also, a hit and run reported on Ann Street right before I-85. Other than that, we are busy. We've got light to mostly moderate traffic all around the boulevards right now. I-65 and 85, steady stream of traffic on both those arteries. Please buckle up and drive carefully. We will keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, up to $11,000 off the remaining 2024 Armadas. They got to go, and the savings are yours. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7331. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's early June, but it's kind of a midsummer forecast here. There will be random scattered showers and storms on the radar this evening and again tomorrow and also on Friday. Always most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours with a sun and cloud mix. Low tonight down to about 70. The high tomorrow and Friday will be in the upper 80s. I think we'll be 90 or above over the weekend. But over the weekend, the rain chances are actually a little bit better. More storms to go around. But it will be feast or famine. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low-price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More. Hunter Lane across from Delray the Publix.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. Us, you're not just another applicant. When you call, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. The price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Summer's here. You can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Get Memorial Day savings now at the Home Depot with free delivery and up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like Whirlpool. Store dinners and keep your coolers iced for sports practice with the large storage and ice capacity of the Whirlpool refrigerator from the Home Depot. Celebrate Memorial Day with savings on select appliances right now at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
At Guardian Credit Union, if it's important to you, it's important to us. We don't do banking differently. We do relationships differently. Want to secure a HELOC for home projects? So do we. Want to build your credit? So do we. Want to plan your next vacation? So do we. We're here to help with whatever's next, because whatever you want in life, so do we. Stop by any of our branches and let's plan your next step together. Guardian Credit Union, where you belong. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity. NMLS 912757.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
All right, welcome back to Happy Hour on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV. Let's go to Cameron, who probably has carpal tunnel in the 10th degree, waiting all this time. Thank you, my friend.
I'm all right.
So what's on your mind this afternoon?
I wanted to add to your commentary, if there's any families in your listening area that do cross country, they'll know immediately what I'm talking about. My family, our children ran cross country, and you can go on any high school website, and when you look at the listing of the events they go to, there's a male division and there's a female division.
Mm-hmm.
And all the reason for it is evident in the times they run, right? There's a wide gap. And that doesn't mean girls aren't capable. That just means that the men have an unfair advantage. That's all it is. But my youngest started running when we lived in Tennessee, started running in the 5th grade. They had a program for 5th graders. What if a grown man had gone out there and run among those girls? Well, that's how absurd it is.
Yeah.
But there is no place at the table for somebody that doesn't protect fairness in athletic programs. I'll stand and talk about that all day. Thank you.
No, thank you. And you're right. This is, this questionnaire we were referencing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great indicator of how deeply this ideology has penetrated the system. No pun intended or no play on words there. That they're asking stray kids, what do you think caused your heterosexuality? Like, I'm sorry, that you're just not normal if you're a heterosexual.
Well,
Last I checked, that is normal.
It's just them asking it to flip the switch on the gay conversation.
But the children
That's all
aren't
it
old
is.
enough to process that and be
No.
able to
And
understand.
here's the thing: there's
I
been
know.
this whole, I said this the other day. I totally get it that gay people should be entitled to live their life and be as happy as they can be, and etc. I thought the whole movement was about acceptance.
Mhm.
All right. But when it gets to this, there's this thing now, the whole transgender movement is a total fraud. Total fraud. Think about it. How vulnerable you are when you're in your early teens. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be accepted. And maybe I can find it faster this way.
For sure.
I don't know how. And you coined the perfect term. Mediocre men.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I can't. Again, it's almost impossible to stay in the person's shoes, but as a male, it's inconceivable that you against females in anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then win, and you're gonna. How do you feel good about that? You know you cheated.
You know you have an unfair advantage.
Yes, and
you're doing it anyway.
How do you live with that?
It takes some crazy wiring up there.
It's somebody who's willing to do anything to win over somebody
they're
else.
not going to feel guilty about it.
No. They don't believe in playing fair. They want to stack the deck in their direction.
Right.
Mhm.
They think they're entitled to it for whatever reason.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the world that will not play fair. You know, a lot of people talk about, oh, you should be nice to China. Well, is China being nice to us?
They don't care.
No, they don't care.
They don't.
And trying to get people to behave the way you behave, sometimes isn't going to work because they don't care.
They don't understand that the rest of the world is very different from us. Even countries that speak our language, like England and others. Look what's going on there. People are getting arrested for mean Facebook posts.
Mm-hmm.
You want who's the arbiter? Who's the one decide what's okay and what's not. Just have done a lot of speech. I talked about this rally by the Democratic Socialists of America. Fine, have your rally.
Mm-hmm.
But do you mind if I ask a couple of questions? Like, what has King Trump done that's got you 5 months into his term saying this?
Yeah.
And besides, even if he puts out executive orders and so forth, he was voted for, he was elected by the popular vote and the electoral vote in our democratic republic. We are not a democracy.
Mm-hmm.
That's another concept that has been poorly taught, if taught at all. So have your rally, and if you attract great throngs and everybody agrees with you, well, then I'm wrong.
Well, they think it's democracy if they win. I don't think it's democracy if we win.
I can offer you a marketing tip here when you are listed as visuals. Circus-themed attire. Really? That's how you're going to sell your ideas? Yeah, because I'm going to pay attention to a bozo telling me that Donald Trump is a king. They're just...
I love when people get called bozos.
They're just so... And here's the best part. Because with every day that passes, we get closer to the midterms.
Yeah.
And they are doubling down on crazy and even more so on stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing it. Keep doing it. Michael Moore has rewritten the Pledge of Allegiance for us all.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
Terrific.
Who cares? What has Michael Moore done in the last 20 years besides get fatter that anybody would have a reason to pay attention to him?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been 25 years since Bowling for Columbine. Get over it.
The last few lines of that pledge are really scary. Everyone have a seat at the table.
That's
Everyone
communism.
Have a piece of pie. Yes,
That's not
socialism.
democracy.
Socialism.
That's communism.
Yeah.
And sad that we have people of influence who get those confused. All right, we got time for a quick call from Clint.
Yeah.
Good day, guys.
Hey,
you
Clint.
make my mornings, you make my afternoons.
Well, we're trying.
Yep. I love your program, Greg Burdell. So
Thank you.
earlier, I got a question for you, sir.
Okay.
What makes a homosexual? I have my youngest sister says you're born with that. Of course, I disagree.
Well, I disagree with you. I mean, I think, look, let me just quote a friend. When you work in Florida, you're going to get to know a lot of gay people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not,
I know a lot
they're
of gay
not
people.
parading around. They're not going down the street in thongs and doing all of that silly
Yeah.
stuff. But more than one has said, I didn't have a vote on what I was going to be. And I would not have voted for what I have if I did,
Mm-hmm.
because it's been a
Well,
struggle.
you
for
still ain't answering questions. How does that come about?
I'm no expert on genetics. I'm just saying it's something in there, and it's not new to this current world. It's been around.
It's been around for centuries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. You're right.
But that when I remember the first time somebody said that to me, it was like, wow, I wouldn't have voted for this. My life would have been a hell of a lot easier if I had been
Yeah.
straight. It's the way it is.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Thank you, Clint, for the call. It is 3:59.
Oh, wow.
Already.
We've killed a whole hour?
Brad McDonald will join us at 5:15. Let me take a quick look on my market app and see. All right, Dow was down 91 points. It's basically a flat day.
Yeah.
I know that jobs numbers, the private payroll numbers that came out today were a little bit low, but all the other economic indicators are screaming, cut the interest rate. He's done what you asked, Jerome Powell, douchebag. Cut the Fed rate. He's earned it, as opposed to Joe Biden, who you helped or tried to help elect Kamala Harris. We'll talk about him later.
Well, there's some rumors out there that he's considering resigning. He's considering stepping down.
Somebody brought that to
we-
my attention.
We talked about that on Monday.
And he should. He absolutely should. He's politicized something that should not be political.
Yeah.
But Brant will have all the rest of the market news for us and more coming up at 5:15. You can reach out for financial advice, planning your financial future at 387-0094 for Invista Advisors. Here's Skipper with traffic. Salem Radio Network News next.
Well, we have some accidents out there. First of all, 2500 block West Patton Avenue. That is our latest accident, minor in nature. South Boulevard at Rosa Parks. We had a moderate crash there just a few minutes ago. Please watch out for emergency vehicles on the scene. And Ann Street near I-85, we had a hit and run. Buckle up. Things are getting a little more busy. Folks are getting out on the roads. Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka. Keep it here for traffic updates. At McKinnon Toyota, special financing on Tundras. That's as low as 2.9% up to 72 months. Don't miss this special financing. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Recently, I met with 3 different owners of homes who had the same problem. They wanted to sell their house quick and sell it as is for cash. All 3 people were approached by different investors that said they had cash for their home, signed contracts, only to find out they were not personally going to buy their homes, but to find a buyer willing to pay more than they offered and pocket the difference. It's called wholesaling. Offer a contract to buy a house at a certain price, up to price to other buyers, and pocket the difference. I urge you, don't fall for it. You want to sell your home quick, use a licensed professional realtor, as I have been for 48 years, keeping promises to get homes sold quick. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225. Call Bo Goodson at 221-2883.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit AlabamaSheriffsYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs, and what our customers say about our business is the most important advertising tool. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who is a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, how easy was it to move your business back to Adams Drugs?
Jim, it was very easy. All we did was make a phone call to the store in Prattville. That's where we live now, and they took it from there, and I didn't do anything else.
What has your overall experience been like here at Adams Drugs?
Well, we are glad to be back with Adams. We've had quite an experience in some towns we lived in, and they have great service. You can tell that the employees are glad to be there to serve you, and I couldn't ask for any more. Whatever formula the Vinson family has, they need to keep it in a safe place because it's certainly working.
Come into any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It's Johnny from Sinclair's from Bond Road. We've been in business almost 30 years.
Sinclair's East. Vaughn at Taylor.
I think if you hadn't tried us, you should give us a try. We've got a great menu, offered anything from chicken fingers, wings, salads, fajitas. At lunchtime, we do great country lunch with different vegetables and different meats every day.
Sinclair's, where you get great sandwiches and our daily meat and 3 special at lunch, to great pasta, chicken, steaks, and seafood for dinner.
Our most popular items are, we got a soup called she crab soup, which is extremely popular. We've got a bunch of pasta dishes, which people love. Mediterranean chicken is my favorite.
Sinclair's.
We do live music, light stuff on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then on Fridays and Saturdays, maybe 3-piece bands or 4-piece bands.
Come see why Sinclair's has seen lesser restaurants come and go over the years. Johnny Sullivan Sinclair's at the corner of Vaughn and Taylor. Find them on Facebook at Sinclair's East. Google search Sinclair's Restaurant. Sinclair's.
Today is June 4th, Hug Your Cat Day. Show your cat how much you love it by giving it a big hug. Your cat will return the love by scratching your forehead, wriggling out of your arms, and hiding behind the couch for the next 3 hours. Have a happy Hug Your Cat Day.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Trump said Russian President Putin told him very strongly in a phone call that he will respond to Ukraine's weekend drone attack on Russian airfields. The president said it was a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. Smoke from Canadian wildfires carried another day of poor air quality south of the border. Conditions in parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan were rated very unhealthy. Smoke has drifted into the San Francisco Bay Area, causing officials to warn of worsening air quality there. The smoke is even reaching Europe. Stocks finished mixed. The Dow was down 91 points today. The Nasdaq gained 61, and the S&P 500 was up fractionally. This is SRN News.
Big news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange, and millions like you are joining our news revolution. Newsmax is now the fourth highest rated news channel, just behind CNN. Reuters says we're one of the top news brands in America. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and more. So download our free Newsmax app on your smartphone or TV and start watching. President Trump says Newsmax is truly terrific. Get the free Newsmax app and check out Newsmax shares on the stock exchange. Go to newsmaxinvest.com. That's newsmaxinvest.com. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such an offer would be unlawful.
Cheese Day! Love mozzarella, brie, and Gouda. Shove manchego into my mouth. I buy provolone by the pound. Whether from Fontina, feta, Swiss, and cheddar. Asiago, Monterey Jack. Sargento, Velveeta, and crabs. Grilled cheese sandwich or rolled in a wrap. Ate so much that now I'm kind of fat. Cheese Day, Cheese Day, Cheese Day, Cheese Day, Cheese Day, Cheese Day, Cheese Day. Woo! I love cheese.
Hey, there's lots of ways to enjoy cheese at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. We will be there tonight.
Yep.
After the show, and hope you will join us. It's just a gathering of, like I always say, it's food, fun, and camaraderie.
It's like-minded people.
Yeah, it's a great group. In fact, I was talking to Bob's team at his corporate headquarters. It just seems funny to say that because Bob, you know.
Well, you've known Bob for years.
44.
Woo! Wow.
44 years when he was playing for the Dolphins, and he still had 9 seasons left to go. But, you know, I just never envisioned him as the head of this big chain of successful restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to make sure we had everything we needed and so forth. And he was the one that taught the concept of camaraderie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made the Dolphins great in those years, camaraderie. That was a great football team with real class guys playing for them. And if somebody stepped out, you know, it got so bad that by the 90s, an insider told me that the Dolphins had 4 full-time private detectives on call 24 hours.
Wow.
To either bail a player out or to try and make a situation right before it got to be a court case.
Wow.
They just when Shula left, there was a curse put on the team because they haven't done squat since they let him go to hire Jimmy Johnson and his helmet here in 1995, I think it was.
Yeah.
Shula was just, he's a character guy, and he wanted players that stood for that. The Dolphins were so great in the community, and it just seems funny to talk about Bob in this context. I was talking to his corporate headquarters, but they just were so grateful to us and our listeners.
Yeah.
Who go there and patronize the restaurant. We got some plans coming up, though, for some really exciting promotions later this year. Stay tuned, because we got some good stuff to give away.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. And if we have enough, I might put a couple of strawberry shortcakes out for the group.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good stuff. I need to be tested because I am fixed. Look at me here. This is terrible. I'm sitting here with peanut butter sticks. Peanut butter sticks. The sweet, the little donut goddess.
Yeah.
Karen Som over at
donuts,
GNS.
yes.
Sometimes I show up at that window and I feel like I should have a needle sticking out of my arm. Can you just liquefy those donut holes so I can just put them straight into my veins? That would be helpful. The right seat in my robe from Jack Ingram, Select Used Cars, where quality meets affordability, is constantly covered with little white flakes because no matter how carefully I remove the donut hole from the bag, because I do eat and drive, these little flakes fall
Of
off.
sugar. There's flakes of sugar. They're not other things.
And it by the end of the morning show, it looks like it either snowed in the car or I was going back to bad old habits of yesteryear with the white powder. It's just,
Or you had a really, really bad dandruff.
Oh gosh.
that's a good one too. And I'm sitting here with this, and now I want to go over to Baumhauer's and have strawberry shortcake, but it is so good. And we do hope that you will join us tonight. Yeah,
Well, it's a nice, comforting place to go. I mean, the servers are all wonderful. And you're going to be with like-minded people, like I said before, but it's just a chance to be.
How do
have a
we
family.
overcome this? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The one thing that people always tell me is, well, I've wanted to go for years. I know the number one reason some people can't go is Bible class on Wednesday night.
Right.
And I'm certainly not going to interfere with somebody that committed to that. No. But they want to go, but then at the last minute, they get nervous about it. Like, I've never been to one of these before.
I was nervous the first time I went too.
Really?
You?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you just didn't know what to expect.
The confident woman that I see that
I know.
Pistol packing mama.
Military veteran, business owner.
Just,
What makes people, is it me? Because I'm just a little hawk show toast in Montgomery, Alabama. There's
No, I don't really worry too much about what people think about me, but I am very different in a lot of ways than a lot of people who listen. So, just that.
Well, it's one thing hearing your voice on the radio, but it's another thing actually seeing you live in person.
Yeah, I'm intimidating to a lot of people. And then a lot of, I don't know, just. I tend to get some flack for my appearance sometimes. And I don't want to be off-putting to anyone because I am really nice.
Yeah.
You are really nice.
But people do tend to judge me when they first see me. And so I don't know, I get nervous meeting new people.
Yeah. Okay. It's fair
Nobody
enough.
believes
Fair
it
enough.
when I tell them I'm shy. I was never the guy at the party that was carrying on and, engaging the room, so to speak. I was a wallflower, and I still am.
Yeah, I've noticed that on occasion. You'll come to Baumhauer's, and the first thing you do is kind of just assess the situation.
Yeah.
Before you say hi to anybody, you're just like, okay, what's going on?
See, I
there
do
trouble?
I do the opposite to overcome that anxiety. I just have to jump right in. Otherwise, I'll sit off to the side the whole time.
Well, we hope some of you listening will jump in tonight. Let's talk about your business, AMS Studios.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Prattville.
Well, we have a lot going on.
Yeah.
All the time.
And I need to get up there for more IPL.
Yes.
And we want to do the bowling thing too on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we got to
We're going to
coordinate
do
all
those
this.
together.
But at AMS Studios, the things that you would love to do, self-improve, whether it's your body, your skin, your face, Pamela has an array of options for you that work and cost a fraction of what you're discussing with a cosmetic surgeon, plus no risk of anesthesia. But the results are there.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
get them all the time. What would you like to focus on?
I mean, any and everything. If you're looking to, if you're at an age where you're starting to prevent aging, or if you're advanced in the aging process and want to take off several years, we have a lot of options, and we can start small or we can go big. We have facials and products that if you do on a regular basis and are consistent with, those will make a difference. And then we have the plastic surgery alternatives, like you were talking about, where we use radio frequency or microneedling and burn fat, tighten skin, boost collagen production. If you look up In Mode and Forma, Evolve, or Morpheus 8, those are the big ticket things that we offer to make big body and face changes. And the before and afters are incredible. And we have that technology right in Prattville.
Cool.
And there's little to no downtime. It's great.
I think the next step would be to call 730-1268 and consult on these options you have. And they work. They really work. When I get a compliment from Susan, that's a power greater than me.
I was going to say, that's rare.
Yeah. But she did notice.
Yeah.
And that's the other good thing, because sometimes cosmetic surgery, there's no guarantee that's going to work out exactly as you plan. Just ask Meg Ryan and others. You don't want that kind of risk. You can get the improvement without, so to speak, sticking your neck out. And that's what I love about it as well. Plus, it's a great place to visit. AMS Studios, 119 East Main in Prattville, ams-studios.com. And AMS Studios brings you the movie maven, Miss Murray. And I think we're doing...
You got a stack?
Some detective.
Whoa.
Department Q on Netflix, Sherlock and Daughter on Max and Hulu. And the rest will be a mystery. And that's at 5:35 this afternoon here on News Talk 93.1 FM at 4:18. Here's Skipper with the latest on your commute.
Well, we had an accident reported 2500 block West Patton Avenue, and also another one, a moderate crash South Boulevard at Rosa Parks. Please use caution at both these locations. We are seeing traffic steadily building this afternoon. Interstates, boulevards, and all of our feeder roads out of Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic flow. Great shopping at Premier Place. After shopping, eat at Poblano's, King Buffet, or Sweet Frog Frozen Yogurt. All at Premier Place in Prattville. Another great McClinton and Company development. I'm with J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Hey, it's Ashley, the owner of Pest Pro Services. And just a quick reminder about our most popular services, termite, pest, and mosquito control. And here's something you may not know. Our mosquito control now covers fleas and ticks too. Building a home, call us for your termite treatment. Selling a home, call us for your real estate inspection. Whether it's your home or business, we'll keep you protected. Call or text 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or visit us on the web at ppsriverregion.com. And remember, when you want to know, call a pro.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
We have a PIT. I've phoned in traffic. Pamela has the details.
There is a car flipped in the median on Atlanta Highway near Watkins Circle and Fox Hollow going towards the boulevard from downtown.
Oh, wow.
So it's down to one lane.
How does that happen?
That's near Faulkner
I
University.
don't know.
And that's supposed to be a limited speed limit area. Somebody was not playing by the rules.
Nope.
Just
Well,
open speculation.
That is one of the places in town people like to street race up and down Atlanta Highway.
Well,
it is a good straightaway for a bit. And
Well, the lights coordinate.
yeah, oh yeah.
So they can sit at Burbank, and when the lights turn green, they can floor it and go all the way down Atlanta Highway to Del Rey. And
that's right. Yeah, there is that long open stretch there.
you know, but That's if the car is flipped, they're going a high rate of speed or doing something.
It had to be. 420.
I'm Stephanie Bryan, chairwoman of the Porch Creek Indians. Tourism and hospitality are more than industries to the Porch Creek Indians. Providing a warm welcome is part of our heritage. It's central to who we are. From Atmore to Aruba, we've created more than 20 unique travel and tourism destinations, providing unforgettable guest experiences and life-changing career opportunities for our tribe and our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. Learn more at porchcreekindians.org.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bells Cleaning Service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bells because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
Hey, this is Randy with Super Pond Center on Burbank Drive. When we advertise with Blue Water Broadcasting, we get results. Spend your money where it counts. Blue Water Broadcasting.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's early June, but it's kind of a midsummer forecast here. There will be random scattered showers and storms on the radar this evening and again tomorrow and also on Friday. Always most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours with a sun and cloud mix. The low tonight down to about 70. The high tomorrow and Friday will be in the upper 80s. I think will be 90 or above over the weekend. But over the weekend, the rain chances are actually a little bit better. More storms to go around. But it will be feast or famine. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Heard it from a friend who was only wearing SPF 2. She burned herself good, so don't be messing around. She was on the beach one weekend. Later on, she started freaking when her skin was peeling off and she was yelling, ow, ow, ow. Don't get too much sun, baby. That ain't the way you want it, baby. 'Cause you'll be all red instead of brown. The sun when you're in it, watch all your minutes. When you're under the sun, you might end up overdone. Heard it from a friend who only had on SPF 2. She burned herself good, so don't be messing around.
Yeah.
Rich Thomas reminded us this morning we live in the tropics.
Thanks
and
for calling.
the kind of pop-up storms
Thank
that
you.
happen in the tropics have been happening this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got home from the morning show and I wanted to ride 4.4 miles on the bike to get to my next
goal
benchmark.
Mm-hmm. What
I
happened?
go straight to my bike from the car.
Yeah.
And something's not right. And I look and the back tire is completely flat.
Oh, no.
I handled it well.
The bugs between it. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, it's
So it went to the repair shop and it's back, but I rode 8 miles right up until it was dark last night.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah, the weather was nice.
Yeah, there was,
very
but I
nice.
don't remember. I'm careful. I don't, you can see glass. I avoid anything that looks weird.
Mm-hmm.
I was just not ready for that. today. So I didn't get to ride. So I feel unhealthy.
Oh. And meanwhile, you're
The peanut
chomping
butter
on
sticks,
peanut butter sticks.
should help that.
Then you also have the key lime donuts over there. That can
Yeah,
surely
that's
help.
why I come in here on afternoons like this, because I have friends who will.
We'll pull that dagger out and stab you in a heartbeat, won't we?
Let's see, things you start to realize at age 36.
Age 36.
Oh, hey. I can comment on this.
36 is a great age, by the way. You, Pamela Dubuque.
I'm older than 36 for the record. But.
Well, you could get away with a lot less than 36.
I know.
You people on YouTube,
I
you see that
know.
look there. Yeah.
And then there's so anyway, here are some of the things that you should realize you can't get away with that just aren't worth it at age 36.
Okay.
Sliding in softball.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah,
not.
Absolutely not. No. Nay, 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 nay.
Yeah. It's okay to eat dinner before 8 p.m.
I never wait.
Costco
Very
sells
late.
clothes.
They do?
Oh, I've bought stuff at Costco, tank tops, socks. I bought Cameron pants at Costco.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Driving anything other than a sensible four-door sedan or SUV looks desperate.
No,
No.
you do you.
Pockets on shirts actually have a purpose. I never thought about pockets when I was 36.
No.
Well,
I've never worn it.
As a professor, I used to put my pens in and
but-
you know, your cough medicine and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I never carry anything in the pockets.
Yeah.
Somebody, I think it was Susan, mocked the fanny pack. That was a good idea that should still be okay.
I love a fanny pack.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it.
It's very convenient. You can just put a few necessary items, just what you need.
I don't
Yeah.
know why I
You're good to go.
listened to that.
I have a Carhartt camouflage
Mhm.
fanny pack. I love that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Other things you realize at age 36, kids of today really do have bad attitudes.
Oh, yeah.
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 CBS has some good shows. One of them, though, is not 60 Minutes, okay? Let's get past
CBS.
that. Pickleball.
Oh, man.
I still don't get this.
Yeah, I have not gotten into pickleball. Sorry.
I have not. I'm afraid if I do check it out, I might like it and just have another thing I got to do every day.
It's
you're
just the
obsessed with it, yeah.
2020s racquetball. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Coming back around.
Yeah. What else is on that list?
I shouldn't have bullied Mark Zuckerberg in high school.
You do realize when you're older that there are things in high school that were just dumb.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you go, why did I worry about that?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I care about that?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah, no, that is one of the benefits of getting older.
Well, and it's odd. It's like
You get perspective.
we put all this, I was so, nervous and uptight about graduation. Oh, graduation's this big thing. It's the, I'm taking that transition from a child to an adult. And it was just, once it was done, it was like, that's it.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do after high school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do have, we will have some storms building up in the area later.
Uh-oh.
Like around 8:30.
Oh, okay.
You want to hear something
That should be
crazy
fun.
about my high school experience?
Yes.
I was bullied.
Why? Why were you bullied? Were you as tall then as you are now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But not necessarily about that. Some of it, yeah. Insecure men like to give me grief about being just taller and bigger than everybody. But I was not girly for the first half of high school, really until like spring of junior year. I wore like band t-shirts and big baggy jeans, shopped at Hot Topic. I was
Because it was comfortable.
I mean, that's what was and is still cool to me.
Yeah.
But I got grief for that just at I don't know, boring kids in high school.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It was lame. But
Yeah.
look at me now, guys. Not just guys.
Yeah.
Girls were worse.
Yeah.
But
And who is it that's getting all the attention on our YouTube thread? I believe that's you.
no.
And that's fine with me. That's fine with me.
Yep.
Every once in a while, you work in this job can be a bureaucracy because there are so many sources for information.
Mhm.
And unless you manage them every single day, it builds into a phone book. What's a phone book?
Yeah.
Some of you remember those.
Oh, yeah.
Pile of
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, it's a prioritization thing. You have to prioritize what's most important. What's something that I think my listeners would be interested in? What's something I'm interested in? I mean, that's a big thing for you. Is that how do you keep your sanity on 3 hours doing a radio show? You have to find things that you care about.
Yeah.
Here's a story that got lost. I don't know. A woman strangled a roommate over dirty dishes.
Oh, did she now?
Yeah.
So was it over the argument over who was going to wash the dishes, or
How many times was that argument had?
She was arrested after allegedly trying to strangle her roommate during an argument over dirty plates not being washed. By the way, how seriously do you have to clean a plate before it's okay to put it in the dishwasher? Aren't these dishwashing detergents and stuff and the heat?
What you need to do is have a good dog.
I
and
just
you
get
have
rid of the
dog
lumps off the
lick
plate.
and then
Well,
throw
there
it in the
you go. That's-
dishwasher.
Sure.
My grandmother used to meticulously, wash everything in the sink before she put it in the dishwasher. Yeah, it was really insane. But we kind of rinse things off.
How
before
are
we
you
put
with
it in.
this? I scrape all the lumpy stuff off the plate. That's enough.
I scrape all the lumpy stuff off, and I would say I used to just throw stuff in the dishwasher, but now Cameron has changed my habits. So I pretty much clean them off before they go in the dishwasher.
Well, because
I will not be being strangled,
I know,
okay?
But there's
I'm not
nothing
gonna be
worse than that
strangled over
feeling
it.
when you open the dishwasher and you pull out a plate or a fork,
And it's still got
and
stuff
it's
on
still
it.
dirty. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You're a college professor. You're
Yes.
a military veteran and businesswoman.
Yes.
I'm whatever I am. And just when you start to feel good about who you are, you see a story like this. At the age of 2 years and 182 days, Joseph Harris Birtle just became the youngest person ever accepted into Mensa.
Stop it.
At 2 years and 182 days.
How?
Wow.
His parents are both lecturers at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland. Their son displayed advanced development from an early age.
Can this person even talk at this point?
He knows the Greek alphabet. He's learning Morse code. I mean, this is
okay. Here's the deal. Intelligence quotient is based upon everybody else in your age group. So yeah, if he's doing stuff
Yes,
like that,
that's what I was gonna
yeah,
say.
it's gonna put his score.
They're testing
inflated.
against his peers. Then
Yeah,
yes.
and it's his parents doing that to him. His parents taught him that.
He knows-
He didn't go, "Hi, mommy, daddy, can I learn the Greek alphabet?" No.
Right.
He didn't
By
do that.
age 2 and 3 months, he could read fluently,
Yeah.
count to 10 in 5 languages,
Yeah.
count forwards and backwards over 100.
Wait, at what age?
Just
2 years and 3 months.
2. Yeah.
My daughter was barely speaking at 2 years.
Yeah.
She was a late talker.
Well, I was reading some things at, I think, 3 years old. 'Cause my mother talks about that. She used to be able to sit me down the floor, put books around me in a circle, and I would
Mhm.
stay there because I would just look at books and look at books. And I
Mhm.
would do things like in the grocery store, I'd point to something on the shelf and go, Cheerios.
Yeah.
And the other women in the store would freak out going, did that child just say Cheerios?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But my children were advanced that way. They were very verbal, and they picked up on things pretty quickly.
I think my daughter is going to be in the WWE. So
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of, you were talking
Hey,
about
make some money.
your height issue.
Yeah.
I've always loved it.
You should.
Yeah.
Embrace it. There's nothing wrong with
It's
it.
not my insecurity, it's other people's.
But Tinder will now allow women to filter out short men.
I saw a clip about that. And I will say I was on the dating apps for a very short time after my divorce. And men lie the most about their height more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We men are very
Yes.
insecure about that.
More than anything.
Why would you lie about your height? Because if you're
It
going to
is
meet
the
somebody,
easiest thing to notice about somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And just taking
So
a picture.
Why?
When you take a picture of from the shoulders and the head, so you can't tell how tall someone is in a headshot. But once you meet them, you're like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cameron, when I met him, he thought he was shorter than he actually is.
You're kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
I will
So that
admit,
he's like, we're probably about the same height. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like 1.5 inches taller than me.
But
I'm
still,
like,
it helps because you're
right.
close. You're
Yeah.
close.
he's about 2 inches taller than me.
And he's about a foot taller.
I always
than
wanted
me.
to be. I always wanted to be 6 feet tall. I missed
Yeah.
it by just this much. But
Yeah.
for a while there in the 70s with the platform shoes, I enjoyed being 6'3". That was a good time.
Yep. Well, I was 5'8 1/4 for many, many years. And I finally decided, why do I keep saying 5'8 1/4?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
that 1/4 inch is not going to help. Just tell them you're 5'8".
Yeah,
You know.
well, you know how it is when you're a little kid growing up. It's great to be 4.5,
Yeah.
but at
Right.
some point you just
Mm-hmm.
get the. And then if you get really, really old, I'm 90.5. It becomes a thing again.
Yeah.
That extra half
Yeah.
or quarter.
Mark just asked in the chat, why do women lie about their weight? Insecurities.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because you think somebody's going to judge you for being a certain height or certain weight or
Yeah.
color of your hair or the
Yeah.
shoes you wear. It's all this thing about we want to be accepted, we want to be loved,
Right.
and we're afraid something will stop that. Something will get in the way.
Yeah.
You know?
But I do think that it's not right to go on to a dating app if you're truly looking to be with somebody
Mhm.
and lie about anything.
Yep.
Why, if you're over- or if you are shorter, say
Mhm.
that you're taller.
Mhm.
Why? If you truly want to be with somebody, find somebody. You
they should
can't
accept
lie
you for
about
who you
stuff.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to put
Yeah.
yourself out there
Yeah.
as you are.
It's a news clip. I love Senator Kennedy from Louisiana. I always
Oh,
told
yeah.
you,
Oh,
you got
gosh.
an awesome senator representing you, one of the few. And apparently he was, let's see if I get the full story here, is trashing somebody, a
A law
witness,
professor. Yeah.
yeah, who was, whose husband I think was on MSLSD.
Oh, are you sharing this? Make sure you share it.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is, I hate these upright videos because where's the line across that tells me whether I'm starting at the beginning or not? This,
Yeah.
pardon me, I'm
Frustrating.
just,
Way down at the bottom. It's hard to see.
is it?
Very hard to see. I don't know.
No, it's not this.
It's not even there. That's bizarre.
Well, let's see if this will play. I know I have to hit this screen here
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
share this tab instead. And we're ready to go.
And we're ready to go.
Okay.
Justice Kagan, will she be able to control the opinion's future distortion by her evil colleagues? Probably not, end quote. Who are you talking about?
Sir, I'm very skeptical. If it's a transcription, it was probably a transcription error. I don't refer to Supreme Court justices as evil. In the
Broadcast, April 22nd, 2024, and you're an officer of the court, and you're here advising us to be respectful of federal judges, and you say they're evil members of the United States Supreme Court? Gag me with a spoon.
Wow! That was awesome.
That was fun.
Gag me with
Justice
a spoon.
Kagan,
That needs to be
will
used
she be
more.
able
You know
to
what?
control
And when
the
they cut to
opinion's
the
future
witness,
distortion
And they're like,
by her
the
evil
same look,
colleagues?
and the
Probably
washed out,
not,
stringy
end quote.
hair.
Who are you talking about?
Sir, I'm very skeptical. If it's a transcription, it was probably a
Look at-
transcription.
look at
Somebody
her.
on your Facebook
I don't
friends
refer to Supreme Court
commented and said
justices as evil
she's not
in the
stuttering more than
classroom,
Porky Pig.
sir.
Yeah, I tried to make that point during the.
2024, and you're an officer of the
she
court,
was a
and
speaker.
you're here
I got that
advising us
immediately. Because me,
to
I
be
am
respectful
as
of federal
sharp as a tack.
judges.
Yeah.
And you say they're
It may
evil
be one of
members
those.
of the
I
United
said that
States
earlier. I said
Supreme
that,
Court. Gag
yeah,
me
let's figure
with a
out how do I
spoon.
get around
You
this?
know, here's the thing. You know, if it's on the
He said,
internet,
quote,
it's there forever. You can't lie your way around that.
Right.
And good for him for being prepared and being able to
Yeah.
stick that shiv in. when
Well,
it needed
don't
to be.
say things that you don't mean.
Yeah.
If it's not your actual thoughts or convictions, don't say it. And then you don't ever have to go back on it or try to talk your way out of it.
Pamela, you bring to mind Daffy Duck.
You're absolutely correct.
There you go. All right, let's talk about Georgia Floors Direct before we hit the traffic dungeon.
Yes, let's.
On the boulevard across from Lowe's for over half a century, 30,000 square feet of choices, almost overwhelming. That's a lot. You could play arena softball in the place. It's that big. But as a consumer, that gives you the best number of choices in all categories of flooring and price ranges. So whatever you're looking to accomplish, whatever you're looking to work with, the team there, the Merry Band of Flouriers, Jeff Mallinson, their leader, got Dustin, Jonathan Q, Steve, Andy, the whole place. It's like happy town. It really is. The vibe in there is always positive. They also offer marble kitchen countertops. They also offer window blinds. And you know what? Year after year after year after year, consumers in the River Region vote them best flooring choice here in the River Region. And they never take it for granted. They're always looking to win it again next year. Take advantage of that. They save you time, they save you money, and nobody gives you more choices than Georgia Floors Direct on the boulevard across from Lowe's, a flooring destination since 1969, the year the earth stood still.
Well, we got a good bit of traffic all over the capital city right now, especially I-65 and 85 through downtown, a steady stream there. 85 northbound beginning to build just a bit, as well as 65 northbound out of Montgomery. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, light to moderate traffic. Please buckle up, drive carefully. We'll keep you updated. Are you searching for a new journey in your life? Trenton State has over 30 degrees from 6 weeks to 2 years. Lots of scholarships available and financial support. Go to trentumstate.edu for more information. Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Mr. Electric. At Mr. Electric, they have the power to make things better.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville has raised over $3 million since his announcement a week ago that he will run for governor of Alabama. Tuberville has filed a financial report with the Alabama Secretary of State's office for the month of May, which reveals that Tuberville raised $2 million within 24 hours of his gubernatorial announcement and the subsequent $1 million in the final days of May. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast. And we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
Mobile County authorities, along with the FBI office in that area, have now arrested 28 illegal aliens that were located traveling in vans along Dolphin Island Parkway. Those vans were stopped for traffic violations and the illegal aliens taken to a holding facility. 3 people are facing charges for trafficking the deadly drug fentanyl. Michael Bullock, Ashley Worth, and Andrew Thomley are currently being held in the Houston County Jail after a traffic stop resulted in the discovery of the drug. Bullock and Worth have a $2.5 million bond set for each of them. A newcomer has entered politics when it comes to the Congressional District 6 race here in Alabama. Case Dixon announced this week that he will be challenging incumbent Congressman Gary Palmer in the 2026 Republican primaries. Dixon is a physical therapist assistant working in Ocala. He writes on his campaign website that he felt called to civic engagement during the COVID-19 pandemic after he witnessed the fear-mongering, censorship, and hypocrisy of the government's response to the virus. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
We're a customer service company that does electrical work. Landscape lighting, backyard lighting, you name it. If it involves the wire, we handle it. Peace of mind made easy. That's what you get with Mr. Electric.
Mr. Electric, power to make things better.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter at 1819news.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's early June, but it's kind of a midsummer forecast here. There will be random scattered showers and storms on the radar this evening and again tomorrow and also on Friday. Always most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours with a sun and cloud mix. The low tonight down to about 70. The high tomorrow and Friday will be in the upper 80s. I think we'll be 90 or above over the weekend. But over the weekend, the rain chances are actually a little bit better. More storms to go around. But it will be feast or famine. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE's 25 and 25 has you covered. For just $25 in closing costs, you can tap into your home's equity. No hidden fees, no headaches, just extra cash. Visit your local ASE Credit Union branch today. Federally insured by NCUA. NMLS 420259. Terms apply.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
ASE, an equal housing lender. Live local talk, the River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
If you love Sydney Sweeney's Backwater Blues, indulge your senses with the Sydney Sweeney Bodily Fluids Collection. We've run out Sydney Sweeney's Sweaty Sports Bra to create a body moisturizer from the moisture on her body. Now you can smell like Sydney Sweeney smells when Sydney Sweeney smells. Or try Sydney Sweeney's skull, made from the mouthwash Sydney Sweeney spat down the sink. When you swish, you'll be swishing what Sydney swished. And no pedicure is complete without Sydney Sweeney's toenail clippings. It's not a beauty product. It's literally just her toenail clippings that we're certain some sicko will pay big bucks for. The Sydney Sweeney Bodily Fluids Collection. There's a little bit of Sydney Sweeney in everything we sell.
We looked that up this morning, and that is available. It's only $8.
What? Who in their right mind would purchase that? I mean, really?
Listen. Okay, you guys, are you talking about her actual bathwater soap?
Yeah.
Because I just looked it up, and you can't buy it. You have to enter.
What?
100 lucky winners, a limited edition bar of Sydney's bathwater bliss.
The movie Maven was the one that turned me on to Sydney Sweeney as somebody that, at least then, was sort of under the radar.
Yeah.
Playing quirky roles and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's an okay actress, but most people tend to focus on her attributes.
Well, duh.
Those attributes?
No. Yeah. But it gets her attention and, gets her foot in the door, and then she's acting.
You know what? Here's the thing. There is nothing wrong with turning on a show because Sydney Sweeney and her are featured in it. That's normal.
Women pick shows and movies based on guys, too.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, everybody does it.
Which is actually, that would be a good topic to get into with the movie Maven, but she's got a couple of shows she wants to talk about today. Big on Mysteries and Department Q on Netflix and Sherlock and Daughter on Max Hulu. Among things we'll talk to Ellen Murray about at 5:35, brought to you by AMS Studios. Who's on the phone?
Daryl T.
Daryl, good afternoon.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
I'm pretty okay. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm still above Derek. That's the plus thing.
Well, there you are.
Yeah. Eddie, you got there?
Eddie is not in the studio today, no. He'll be on Friday, I think.
It's the Master Testament and Pamela.
Oh, your voice sounds like Eddie.
I can do that sometimes. I can do Eddie. I can do Eddie, buddy. Yeah.
I got a question about some new news. But before that, I wanted to share something with you.
Sure.
There was the guy in my I had over my house to help him move some stuff out, and I happen to have you on the YouTube on the screen on my computer, and you listen to your show. And it was a day when you had David Blackman, Matt President, and you and Pamela. And so there's four windows.
Sure.
So there's four
Tuesday. That's Tuesday, yeah.
So there's four windows on the screen. And I pointed, he's aware of your shows. I'm tell him about it. And I pointed at each window. I said, great guy, great guy, great guy, and pretty.
Listen to go, great guy, pretty, really pretty. Yeah.
So I think he's become a loyal listener now.
I'm very glad to hear that. We're always welcome new listeners. In fact, we'd love to have some new callers too. Like, is this your first time?
No, it's my third time.
Right.
See, it's always great to hear fresh voices on the phone. We appreciate our regulars, but
Oh yeah, and I tell people about it all the time, and like I said, that I'm the one that Eddie Bader helped me get into a home in Raymond.
Nice.
Good.
It's a fixer-upper, and I'm by myself and licking my financial wounds. But when I get mad, I look up and say, "You own it."
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I love driving through I go to Red Schoolhouse every so often. And I love driving through Raymer.
I know.
In that area because it's just so pastoral and serene.
Well, you know what's funny is I'm actually from your original part of the country. I had family in Alabama, and would visit down there every year. But I went to school up in northern Illinois.
Oh.
And so I think I was hearing you. What was it, WLS or WGN?
WLS.
WLS.
AM and FM, both. I did them both.
Right. Funny story about you mentioned fanny packs earlier.
Yes.
Love them.
Yep.
My dad. Now, just a little backstory here. My full last name is Tushiyama, but you look at me and I've got long gray hair, a goatee, and a cowboy hat. People say, you don't look Japanese. I said, well, that's because I was adopted by an Alabama mother and an American Japanese father. So I'm either Hilpanese or Japabilly.
I like it.
If you have a name like that, you have 1,000 of them,
Yeah.
But he was old school. He actually spent time, he was born and raised in California, but he spent time in 2 internment camps. During that period.
Yeah.
And then he went on to serve in the U.S. Army.
Wow.
And became a U.S. veteran. And I was watching over him the last 15 years because he was by himself up there. You know, I was traveling. I'm a musician. And but I would get back there and help him out, even though he was driving till he was 96.
Wow. That's pretty good.
And he died of a heart attack while driving at 96.
Oh.
And but he had this fanny pack that eventually he wore it all the time, and he would leave every morning. He'd gone 4 hours having coffee with his veteran buddies, doing his shopping and whatever. And all of a sudden, I see this fanny pack. He's got duct tape on part of it, and then he's got duct tape on another part of it. And so I bought him a new fanny pack. Did he wear it? No, he just kept adding duct tape to the one he liked.
That's I can totally connect with that.
Yeah.
I just shook my head and I said, "Whatever you like, Dad." You know, it's like
great story.
In my head with some new news that I just came across earlier today about these Chinese nationalists in University of Michigan.
Yeah,
they've done a good job of infiltrating the system, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they smuggled in agricultural virus.
Yes, a fungus.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Well, and if they're doing it there, are they doing it other places?
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
Exactly. I mean, it's a whole lot of that mess in this country they haven't even found out about.
Yeah, here's the thing, my friend. Yesterday, the governor of Arizona vetoed a bill that would have stopped the purchase by Chinese interests of land in Arizona.
Next to military.
So whose side is she on? Yeah, very close to military bases. She refused to stop it. Where does this?
Didn't they do that in Oklahoma too?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Huckabee banned it or something.
A lot of places have, you know,
Good.
because we're starting to, get more into America First mode again. Thanks to Donald Trump. It's a great.
Absolutely great to talk to you. Love your show, and y'all have a great day.
Thank you. That's enough. I appreciate
That was very nice. That was very nice. I like the the Japanese or Milanese. Yeah.
I'm looking at the Sydney Sweeney Bathwater Bliss.
Okay, it looks like you can buy it too. They've got limit one per customer there.
I thought I saw
It hasn't dropped yet.
It dropped this Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, limited product launch dropped on June 6th.
I entered the giveaway.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
That'd be cool if you
That
won.
would be funny. That would be funny. Dang, that's just weird.
It's called Squatch.
But you
Yeah,
know,
I buy all those soaps for Cameron. He likes those.
it gets attention. And it's like P.T. Barnum said, they're either talking good about you or they're talking bad about you, but at least they're talking about you.
Yeah,
Huh?
true.
And he was the king of that.
Well, I think there's two people on this radio station that people would buy their bathwater.
Uh-huh.
One is Rich Thomas. The other is in the room with us. And it's not Mark.
It's not
Hey, Mark.
me.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, let's just say
I'm not offering. I'm not offering.
My
No merch
aroma
drops.
is rather fragrant at times. I have smelled my aroma, especially if I'm wearing the same costume for a couple of days in a row. Woo! You don't want to get around me on stage. What is that?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Well, let's put it this way. The closest I've come to that is working with station mascots in those big.
oh yeah,
I was
they don't get washed. They don't get dry cleaned, and they're
No.
just
and in the Florida heat and humidity,
yeah.
good Lord. We had this mascot. It was a chicken. I never understood why. First of all, the San Diego chicken was really the first mascot, for the Padres. And everybody loved the chicken because the chicken was acrobatic, and funny, and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So the mascot grew out of the San Diego chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Our chicken was obese. It had a hook-shaped beak that was very scary. You would not want to be attacked by that pecker. I guarantee you.
How
you
could
would
you
not
see
want
out of that costume?
Well, the guy that wore it for the station, his name was Lex.
Yeah.
And I was at a car dealer remote or something 100 years ago. And he takes the top of the chicken off, which frightened a kid.
He took the top of it off.
The little kid that was there for a free balloon or whatever we were giving away did not want to see a beheaded chicken.
Yeah. Oh
And
no.
Sweat's pouring off. He says, if you think the heat is bad, take a whiff.
Oh,
my
gosh.
God.
No.
Awful.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, you can't dry clean every outfit in a play or whatever you're doing every day. So,
Well, Febreze helps, but it doesn't take it away.
Yeah.
totally.
The stinkiest thing I have ever smelled is after a hockey game in
Really?
the hockey pads and hockey uniforms.
Oh yeah.
They
It
stink.
reek. Yeah.
yeah, my brother was a goalie.
Ugh.
I don't know how to live with all the padding on. Speaking of hockey, go Cats. We want Jake Cullen to be a happy camper. So the Panthers need Edmonton. Did you see it in the? I don't follow basketball. I don't care. I look at it more from a media standpoint.
Yeah.
But the NBA Finals this year, the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, the NBA has got to be dying 1,000 deaths because their ratings are down by about 30 to 40%
Oh yeah, it's pretty
for
horrible.
the season, and now they have two of their smallest markets playing for the championship. Like, who cares? Name somebody that plays for either one of those teams.
It's starting to get that way with NFL too.
Yeah.
The problem with the NFL is that they've done all this moving things around and trying to make everything equal. Now everybody sucks. All the you don't really care,
A lot of mediocrity.
and it costs so much money to watch them.
Yes.
If you want to watch every single game that your team is in, you're going to have to pay a lot of money. And guess what? The Titans, the worst team in the NFL last year, my team, they don't even have a single primetime game this year.
You know what?
What?
And then they reward.
Wow.
They reward failure with the number one draft pick.
Yeah.
Baseball
Yeah.
stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Because teams are having bad seasons deliberately so they could draft at the top.
Yes.
They get
Well, the
better.
Titans needed this guy. Cam Ward actually is pretty good. So we're hoping that maybe this season will be better. But last few seasons for the Titans have been horrible. Just horrible. And so it's tough if you're a football fan and you want to, like the Dolphins. The Dolphins have not done anything since the 70s, right?
Yeah,
It's
well,
just
they're
been
cursed.
horrible. It's hard
They
to
are
watch your
cursed.
favorite team when you're just not doing it. You go to that point where you go, why do I care?
My advice to any losing football team is draft more players from Alabama and Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Get better. It's 5 o'clock.
We did it.
How did that happen? We're going to check traffic with Skipper. There's a bunch of stuff going on. We have Wall Street Business, Salem Radio Network News, and Brad McDonald, Miss Murray, too.
Well, we have a backup on I-65 northbound. If you're exiting 85 southbound to 65 northbound, this is going to be around Clay Street. We have a couple of accidents there back-to-back, a minor one and one that is on the left against the center divider. Please use caution. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown there. A lot of cars on 85 northbound now. It is really building from around Alabama State up past Ann Street, getting busy from Taylor to Chantilly, and all of our feeder roads out of Montgomery really building. Buckle up, drive carefully. We'll keep you updated. At McKinley Toyota, take advantage of Camry leases as low as $329 per month, and Tacomas as low as $450 per month. It's worth the drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Will J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott. Stock market through a quiet day of trading as Wall Street's momentum slowed following its big recent rally. The S&P 500 was essentially flat and is within 2.8% of its all-time high. The Dow slipped 0.2%, and the Nasdaq Composite rose 0.3%. The action was stronger in the bond market, where Treasury yields tumbled following a pair of weaker-than-expected reports on the economy. The reports on the job market and output by U.S. service businesses raised expectations for coming cuts to interest rates by the Federal Reserve. The Dow was down 9 points to close at 42,247. The Nasdaq gained 61 to 19,460. The S&P 500 was up fractionally to 5970. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
What does it mean for a nation to be successful? I'm Stephanie Bryan, Tribal Chair and CEO of the Poarch Creek Indians. We believe a successful nation gives back. As we've built economic opportunity and prosperity, the Poarch Creek Indians have been able to give back to our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. More than $37 million since 2021 alone. From education and health care to tornado relief, learn more about our charitable giving at PoarchCreekIndians.org.
2 shows, 1 legend. Fox Tonight is all Gordon Ramsay. Let's go! First, a MasterChef dynamic duos. These teams came to cook, but Gordon Ramsay has a twist, came to shock. Then, someone at this restaurant is feeding Gordon info. My insider is crucial, and it's worse than you think.
Ladies and gentlemen, putting your forks down. The restaurant is closed.
A new Gordon Ramsay Secret Service.
Tonight on Fox 20. Men, you are under siege. From the minute you hit adulthood, stress, bad sleep, junk food, screens, pressure, it all chips away at your testosterone, your energy, and yeah, your confidence. But no one tells you that, and no one tells you the benefit of screening early when you're younger. Research has found that maintaining optimal hormone levels prevents severe men's health issues later in life. At Montgomery Men's Health, we fight for you. The tired dad, the high performers running on fumes, the gym grinders, the man whom online pills have failed. This is for every man, young and old. Forget pills from apps or email. You need a real medical provider, a clinic that'll fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Guys, the future is local. Real clinics, real specialists, real answers. Testosterone results in minutes, not days. Montgomery Men's Health's friendly staff is on standby, ready to tackle your ED, your low T, and enhance your life. Call right now, 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Montgomery Men's Health, making it happen.
For reliable electrical services in Central Alabama, trust the experts at Crosby Electric. Crosby's licensed and insured electricians are ready to tackle any project for your home. From troubleshooting, repairs, to installing new lighting and preventive maintenance. And Crosby understands the need for quality service for small business. Crosby is big enough for the largest job, yet small enough to bring real value. Visit CrosbyElectric.com to schedule your service. Crosby, powering Central Alabama with excellence.
This is not headline news. Today is National Cheese Day. I can't wait to cut it. Natty Light unveiled a workbench that turns into a man cave. Now if they could only unveil a beer that turns into something drinkable. A 300-pound man sued Disney World after he was injured on a water slide. Disney is countersuing him for emptying the pool with his splash. And a Dutch museum will display a 200-year-old condom. It was obtained from the wallet of a Battlestar Galactica fan. This is not headline news.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
It's fine.
SRN News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A federal judge has issued an order to prevent the deportation of the wife and 5 children of an Egyptian man charged in the firebombing attack in Boulder, Colorado. U.S. District Judge Gordon P. Gallagher issued the decision Wednesday, granting a request by the family of Mohammed Sabri Solomon to halt deportation proceedings of his wife and 5 children who were taken into federal custody Tuesday. President Trump says he spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Wednesday and that the Russian leader told him very strongly he will respond to Ukraine's weekend drone attack on Russian airfields. The conversation played out as the deadlock over the war drags on. Mixed day on Wall Street with the Dow down by 91 points, the NASDAQ rose 61. More details at srnnews.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising on the coast? RV wins! Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up. Oh, yeah, passport, then RV. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come in time. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and.
All right. Here's one reason why we love J.D. Vance. And notice how the media is ignoring him. They're still, of course, going after Trump with the guns blazing, but they're not paying attention to J.D. because he doesn't give them anything to make fun of or mock. No. And I find that pretty exciting. We played this at the open of the show. Let's listen.
One thing that is shocking about the prior government, about the government we inherited the White House from, is if I, on January the 21st, in fact, I did ask this question, where are the biggest deficiencies in our supply chains? What are the 100 products that are we're completely reliant on some other entity to make for us? Where are they made, and how hard would it be to onshore that manufacturing? I asked that explicit question, and the answer was, we don't know. Nobody in the prior government had actually asked these very fundamental questions. And so what is so crazy about the hyper-globalized era is that you had these basic questions about the brittleness of our supply chains that were completely uninvestigated by the very people who supported globalizing those supply chains. Mm-hmm. We were actually governed by complete morons, and we didn't even realize it until the Trump administration started to get underneath the hood of our government. One thing that is shocking about the prior government.
You need to make that point over and over again with different examples too. He is smarter than the room, and he doesn't act like he is.
Right.
I mean, how many liberals have we seen who are the emperor with no clothes? They have all the Obama. He was the emperor with no clothes. He had no real answers for anything. Hope and change and hope.
Yeah, I firmly believe that J.D. Vance is the future. That makes me very confident
yes.
in the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
He's right.
I think the idea of a debate with him and AOC is.
Oh gosh, it would be just bloodshed.
It could be. You don't want it to be too one-sided because you don't want her getting pity votes because she does not belong in the same room with that guy. It is 5:10. Yeah, we talk about serious things from time to time too.
Oh, yeah.
We're watching the news.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to talk to Brent about money in just a moment.
Oh yeah.
Here's a way to save money and guarantee yourself priority service when the weather is mighty hot, your AC breaks. Who do you call? Well, I know from personal experience before I did business with Clark's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, you were kind of at the mercy of the wait list, especially on the hottest summer days where we have, an extended heat wave. With Clark's, those who are members for $180, they come to your house twice for that amount of money, for that same amount, not 2 times 180 divided by 2. They tune the system, check all the major components, check the coolant, and leave it running efficiently. So you're using minimum power, even on the hottest days. Then if something does go wrong, if you call 277-2125, an HVAC tech of the highest competence will be dispatched to your house. Plumbers too. They employ fabulous plumbers who have solved a wide array of issues, everything from a broken water tank to literally having to extract my tub to solve a leak issue. It was the first time I ever saw what's underneath the bathtub. And they did it, and they did it without disturbing a tile. It was just it was cosmetic surgery by plumbers. It really was. So you want those things, the infrastructure in your home handled by the best, and they're just great human beings too, which does count for something. When they're in your home, you'll feel very comfortable. 277-2125 to get that membership started, or you can learn more by browsing clarkcomfort.com. Their Alabama certification number 09098. Brant joins me, Pamela Dubuque, and Master Thespian next.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's Cleaning Service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you got a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's early June, but it's kind of a midsummer forecast here. There will be random scattered showers and storms on the radar this evening and again tomorrow and also on Friday. Always most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours with a sun and cloud mix. The low tonight down to about 70. The high tomorrow and Friday will be in the upper 80s. I think will be 90 or above over the weekend. But over the weekend, the rain chances are actually a little bit better. More storms to go around, but it will be feast or famine. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Hey, this is Peaches and Clean, powerful carpet cleaning. Do you have commercial property, offices, or rental units? Give us a call at Peaches and Clean. We can clean and restore your carpeting and bring them back to life. Give us a call at Peaches and Clean or peachesandclean.com.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Because on the counter, you want to know why?
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Need to kill about 30 seconds here. How about a public service announcement?
Hey, Joey! I got some stuff you just gotta try. What is it? Pot. You know, marijuana. Oh, well, I don't know. What, chicken?
Joey's in a jam. What should he do? Cake.
Get a pizza!
Excellent. Get a pizza. Get real.
Get out of there!
You got it. Let's see if Joey's that smart.
I'm not chicken. You're a turkey.
He's right. Drug dealers are dorks. Don't even talk to him. Cowabunga!
Joey.
I love the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. We thought Brent would be here. It is 5:15.
Yeah. My question is, how effective was that commercial?
Look, it seemed like in the early part of this century, it sounds weird to say that, that one of the predominant public service messages on radio and TV was about bullying, anti-bullying, report bullying.
Mm-hmm.
It's worse than ever. Mm-hmm. It's worse than ever.
Well, social media has done that. It makes it easy for people to to insult people and throw
Take your
barbs.
pot shots from a distance. Yeah.
Anonymously.
It's
Well, you
turned.
can't punch anybody in the face anymore.
Exactly.
There's zero tolerance
And there's
for
no consequences
for that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
but they'll tolerate the online bullying until it gets to the most dire of situations. When really, if you could just knock someone, they'd quit most
Yeah.
of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that's exactly what it takes.
It just is.
272
Sorry, it's not pretty.
228. A little bit later this hour with the movie maven Miss Murray, we'll talk about some mysteries and some mysteries that I'm not even sure about. That's coming up. Is that Brant?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Let's welcome our friend Brant McDonald, Mr. Right on the Money from Invista Advisors. Good afternoon, Brant.
Hey, good afternoon, Greg. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, actually, usually, but no, I feel great getting ready to go over to Baumhauer's in a little bit, but we'd like to talk to you about money news today. What stood out in your universe?
So, as I mentioned the other day, we don't have like a ton of data really that's coming, this month or even this week, other than I would say we do have the jobs numbers, which is on Friday. So we're going to be really obviously locked in on that report, especially with a very small report we had today, which was private sector payroll jobs. That number came out. It was way below estimate.
Why do you think that was?
37,000, I think was. It's. I think the vast majority of the employment situation is what I've called in the past kind of recycling, if you will. We've got a new administration in Washington, and federal jobs was a big part of the jobs numbers over the last 2 years.
Yeah. We know that.
We know that. We know that all too well. And so a lot of those jobs have gone away. People are trying to re-enter the workforce. And so you're going to see some kind of noisy numbers, I think, with respect to jobs. And me personally, I don't really think that this private sector number, it's a small piece of data in the grand scheme of things. So I'm not too terribly worried about it. I think the bigger issue is going to be on Friday when we look at the overall construct of the number. Understanding is what type of private sector jobs are out there, and more importantly, what is happening with wages. I think it's also interesting that every time you get a piece of data that is attached to jobs, you also get little nuggets, tiny little nuggets that kind of dovetail into the overall inflation picture. And I don't think we're seeing the pace of inflation continue to come down, in spite of the fact that, a lot of the talking heads in media were jumping up and down saying that these tariffs were going to cause inflation.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that. I even went on record, and I will continue to do so, that tariffs do not cause inflation. It just is. The math doesn't work. The math doesn't add up. Yes, you could see a temporary increase in prices, but inflation is caused by too much government spending and too much money being created. That's the bottom line. That's how it happens. And so, we'll see what happens on Friday. And I think as we go through the month of June, we'll get a couple of pieces of inflation data. That's going to be about it. We don't really have, as I mentioned yesterday, most of the sort of fireworks, if you will, are going to really be happening in July.
Brant, President Trump put out a power tweet today telling Jerome Powell, look, inflation is where it's supposed to be if you're going to lower the rate, et cetera, et cetera. It's time to lower the rate, yet nothing's been done about that. It's obviously that whole thing's been very politicized. And how do you see this going? What's the buzz on your side relative to that rate cut? When do they meet again?
So, So they've still got several weeks to go before they meet again. But I think let's kind of, I'll take you back to kind of sort of the, Fed 101. So if you look at the real rate of return, which is typically the inflation rate, anytime your short-term rates are higher than the inflation rate, you're in what we call a restrictive policy, designed to slow things down. Typically, what you want to do as a Fed official is you want to find what we call the neutral rate. Now, this isn't exactly true, what I'm about to say, but it's very close. A neutral rate is typically going to be equal to your inflation rate. So you really want to have federal funds rate closer to the normalized pace of inflation, which currently sits in the 2 range. We get these different pieces of data like PCE and CPI and PPI and all of that. We look at core, we look at the headline. There's all kinds of different pieces of data there. But even if the current pace was, say, 2.5%, and the Fed is sitting here at 4.25% on federal funds, that's very, very restrictive. Very restrictive. It really does need to come down a little bit to be more in line with the true pace of inflation that we have right now, the current run rate we're on. So, the Fed sits back and they say, well, we are concerned about tariffs and all that. Well, look, the Fed knows all too well that tariffs don't cause inflation. Yes, could you have a short-term bump in prices? Absolutely, no doubt about it. But it doesn't carry what I would call a geometric increase, ongoing, inflationary pace. It's a one-time adjustment, and that's it. So I think it's total malarkey.
If we still taught history or people paid attention to it, I've watched a number of documentaries on 19th century presidents, and some of the best of them made tariffs a critical part of their economic plan for the country, to boost manufacturing here, to jolt the U.S. economy. This is nothing new, but of course the media, in their never-ending relentless mental illness to try and stop Donald Trump, they're acting like this is something that's never been done before, and that's total BS. It's been done by McKinley, by Tyler, by U.S. Grant, a whole bunch. But why bother them with facts?
You're absolutely correct. And most of the tariffs were used as the main sort of mechanism to generate revenue for the Treasury, because remember, we didn't have an income tax in the 1800s.
Right.
That didn't happen until the early 1900s. So, and Trump is right. I mean, he would like to see a little bit more balance rather than, individual income taxpayers, footing the entire bill for the country. He wants to use tariffs as more of a way to levelize trade and to find the proper balance with all of our trading partners, because it's been left unattended now for decades and it's gotten way out of hand. But just remember, I mean, through all the noise, all the talk, everything, all we have still is a 10% tariff. That's it. I know they were much higher at varying points in April, but that was strictly, from a negotiating standpoint. It was used as a negotiating tactic. We all know that.
Our media is pathetic and deplorable for their abuse of news, statistics, all of it. They have no shame whatsoever. That's why we're glad we have you. We at least get the truth. Straight shot from Brad McDonald. Appreciate your time today, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And, y'all have a great evening. I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow.
You got it, my friend. Thanks so much.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Those of you listening at the beginning of the show, we had our friend Jacqueline Tomlinson on the radio with us. She is and her partner Dana Delk specialize in family law, divorce, separation, wills, adoption, things that can cause a lot of personal grief and headache. And what you need, it's not just the legal wisdom. With those two, my goodness, I mean, it's readily evident. What you need for yourself in a life crisis is leadership. Somebody who can say, take a step back, calm down. Let's look at the facts, not the emotions. Here's how we're going to deal with this. Who will lay out a plan, follow me, trust me, and we will get through this. The worst thing you can do in any life crisis is try to manage it yourself or without help. With Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson, you've engaged the very best. So let them take the situation, trust them. And maybe you know somebody who's got a situation. Recommend this number to them, 819-4810, 819-4810. The web address is thealabamafamilylawyers.com for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
The representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
All right, here's Skipper at 526, the Movie Maven coming up.
Well, we've got an accident on I-65 northbound. This is going to be just past Clay Street, right against the center divider. A couple of vehicles, the left lane partially blocked, and folks are having to go around. Your right lanes are going to be your best bet. Traffic's backed up to the 85 southbound to 65 northbound merge at this point. Please use caution. Everywhere else around Montgomery, we're really busy right now. We've got a high volume of traffic on 85 northbound out of downtown. Boulevards, light to mostly moderate traffic, and all of our feeder roads up to Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, light to mostly moderate traffic. We'll keep you updated. Great shopping at Premier Place. Shop Big Lots, Beals, Michaels, GameStop, and more. Premier Place in Prattville, another great McClinton & Company development. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Hello there, this is Dr. Sam, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Frequency sells. The more ads you can get on the air, the better the chance it'll make an impact. Radio allows advertisers an inexpensive way to get their voice heard over and over again. Contact me, Dr. Sam, by going to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Look what all I got up at the outlet mall. That dress is ugly as homemade thin. I wish Hee Haw was still on television. You gotta watch Nashville. You gotta watch Justified. You gotta read 50 Shades of Grey. I love Obama. I hate Obama. Paul Ryan's kind of sexy. Lord have mercy. They've discontinued my China pattern. Are you shitting me? Well, don't get your panties in a wad. My bra and panties always match. The best way to not get pregnant is to hold an aspirin between your knees. Did you eat yet? South Carolina has the best barbecue. North Carolina has the best barbecue. Oh, Tennessee has the best barbecue. Did your lord ass eat the last moon pie? Ew, this tea's unsweetened. Good manners are never out of style. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Excuse you. Ew, somebody pooted. Quit acting ugly. I'm about to jerk a knot in your tail. If you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. I've quit smoking. I'm going to start to patch. That darn patch is expensive. I'm going to start to patch again soon. Let's go shopping in Atlanta. Let's go to Daytona. Let's go to Myrtle Beach. I was having so much fun tailgating, I didn't even make it to the game. I control the daylights out of a baton. You better watch out for the police. Oh, for heaven's sake. You're not hanging another deer in my house. Will you bait my hook?
It's hot as Hades. They got deviled egg plates on sale up at Walmart.
I'm ill as a hornet.
He's happier than a dog with two.
You're not mashing the right button.
Why am I in charge of the class reunion?
That woman's nutty as a fruitcake. Uh-huh. I'll be right back. I gotta go tinkle.
Bye! If y'all need anything, just holler at me.
And we love the things Southern women say. And our special guest sidekick this Wednesday, Master Thespian, is particularly a big fan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It
I know
is
people like that.
5:31, heading to Baumhauer's in 29 shopping minutes. Hope you come and join us over there and for some food, fun, and camaraderie. The movie Maven going to join us shortly, talking about mysteries. And
there's a lot of interesting mysteries.
a friend of mine just pointed out that one of the news stories today is that Corinne Jean Piswit Pierre, whatever her name
Binder.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
the liar. That's all she did the entire time she was press secretary for Revolting Joe. Was a little play on Joe DiMaggio there. Was lie. I mean, time, he's fine. Oh, he could run rings around the staff and all the other beazle schmears that she spewed during her time in that job. Has left the Democratic Party to become an independent. You know, she probably could have lined up a gig at MSLSD or CNN, one of the pathetic, we never give up liberal networks. But they're not going to want her now. And she is writing a book. And why would we be when she stood there and lied? Why would anybody buy a book by her?
She has her people.
Yeah. There's some people who would go, oh, she's the best. She did such a good job.
She was, well, it's just.
But I don't think there's enough people to buy her book and make her any money. Because I just don't think it'll sell.
One of these days, somebody will take a deep dive on the whole book phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what did they give Michelle Obama, like $8 million in advance?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Who wrote the book? How many copies did it really sell? Look, you don't have, I don't think you have to pay for her podcast, but how many people are listening to that? 30,000? That's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Especially for somebody who has been portrayed by the media as this.
Well, a national figure.
Yeah.
You know, the savior of the Democratic Party is Michelle Obama.
So you're right. Well, how'd that work out for them? It is, although they are selling that property in the Martha's Vineyard.
Are they now?
Where their chef washed up dead.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here, though. Just keep moving, folks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Keeping moving is Skipper with your traffic news and weather.
Well, we believe they have moved the accident off of the River Bridge on I-65 northbound. Traffic is moving there, but we had a big backup, and traffic is still moving slow on I-65 northbound, and folks trying to merge from 85 south to 65 north. It's a little bit congested right in that area. I-85 north and southbound around Ann Street all the way out to East Boulevard, and from Taylor to Chantilly, we're a little bit busy. Boulevards are all busy, as well as all of our feeder roads out of Montgomery. Buckle up, drive carefully. We'll update you if any other accidents happen to slow you down. Whether you're stacking credits or starting fresh, Trenton State has flexible classes to fit your vibe. Go to TrentonState.edu and lock in your schedule. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A Montgomery woman wanted by federal authorities for fraud has been arrested in Miami. Rashima Shiante Shackelford was wanted on multiple felony warrants, including bank fraud and conspiracy to commit mail fraud. The United States Postal Service had offered a $100,000 reward for information leading to her arrest. Some workers in Montgomery will be losing their jobs at the end of the month. Oracle announced it will lay off 65 people effective June 30th. The Texas-based software company notified the state of its intentions last month. The layoffs are the result of local contracts for IT services expiring. June 4th is recognized as National Safe Day, a day dedicated to promoting firearm safety and awareness. Firearms are now the leading cause of death of children in the United States. Many of those deaths were the direct result of adolescents playing with guns found in their own home. Prevent a potential tragedy and secure your firearms. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix. The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's early June, but it's kind of a midsummer forecast here. There will be random scattered showers and storms on the radar this evening and again tomorrow and also on Friday. Always most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours with a sun and cloud mix. The low tonight down to about 70. The high tomorrow and Friday will be in the upper 80s. I think will be 90 or above over the weekend. But over the weekend, the rain chances are actually a little bit better. More storms to go around. But it will be feast or famine. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
The movie Maven Miss Murray, brought to you by AMS Studios. Relax your soul, refresh your mind, renew your spirit with AMS Studios on Main Street of Granville. AMS-studios.com or call 730-1268. And we welcome the movie Maven. Ellen Murray, good afternoon to you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
I understand you've got some mysteries for us to check into.
Well, I tried out 2 new mystery shows. One of them was recommended to me by my aunt on Netflix. It's called Department Q.
Okay.
And this one is really good. It's pretty dark and gritty, though, so it's not your lighthearted one like the
not
next
Scooby-Doo.
one I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
But it's British, and so nobody that I recognize. So like that actually helps me watching a new show that I don't have like preconceived. Where do I know this person from before? But it's a guy who's been injured in the line of duty, and so he's been relegated to the basement of the detective studio or whatever detective. And they just put him on a bunch of cold cases to like keep him employed, but kind of get him out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him something to do.
Cold cases.
Yeah.
Team of misfits that help him solve the cases, but it's actually really smart and really interesting. So I recommend that one.
Okay.
All right. And is it a foreign film and do they speak with a British accent?
It's foreign, yeah.
I had to ask about that.
It's got high marks on Rotten Tomatoes, too. It had 83 critics, but 93 audience scores.
That's pretty cool. Department Q, did you say?
Yes.
Oh,
I like that.
excellent.
What does the Q stand for in Department Q?
I think that's the department they made up when they stuck him in the basement. Department Q now.
How government works 101. Let's just give it a name and a number or a letter and we're in business.
We're going to put you down in the basement, old chap, and you'll get to look at the old code cases.
I have been a Sherlock Holmes fan my entire life. And of course, to me, Basil Rathbone is the one and only Sherlock Holmes. That said, though, I have seen a couple of young Sherlock Holmes as a movie in the 80s that was kind of one worth revisiting if you're looking for something different. But what's the show Sherlock and Daughter?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're just trying to, make money off of the Sherlock franchise without putting a whole lot of work or depth into the writing or the casting or anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the opposite of Department Q, this one is sort of lighthearted. It's got your plucky, young American girl who shows up at Baker Street claiming to be his daughter, and so he doesn't really believe her, but she's proved that she can solve some mystery, so he takes her on as an assistant after some trial and error.
Now, is this set in the 1800s or is it set in modern day?
It's 1800s.
Okay.
But
I like that. That makes me
got-
want to see it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I love period pieces.
Well, it was kind of already done though when they did Enola Holmes. You know, she wasn't his daughter, but she was his sister, and
I
she
liked
got
that.
same.
Enola Holmes.
I liked that
Yeah,
series.
How did I miss that?
Yeah.
On Netflix. Yeah, the same girl that played 11 on Stranger Things.
Yeah, Millie
Played in
Bobby
that.
Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown.
She's
Well,
good.
The three of you have made me feel totally culturally irrelevant here. Enola Holmes. I would like to. Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was
Yeah,
light.
actually,
It
I
was
think-
light.
Henry
You know,
Cavill
and-
played Sherlock.
Yeah, and
He was good.
Ooh.
Sam Claflin was her other brother, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I like him.
Not Mortimer. What's his name? I can't remember.
Ellen, I'm sorry. I caught what you just said. You gave a big ooh to somebody. Who was that?
Henry Cavill.
Oh, Henry Cavill.
Ooh.
Yes.
Out of those two, Sam Claflin is more my
Henry
speed.
Cavill. Okay. I was just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
He was Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never saw him as Superman.
Mm-hmm.
There's another Superman coming out soon too. I'm seeing a ton of
Yeah.
ads for that.
In July.
Meh.
Yeah, David Cornsweet.
Who?
David Cornsweet is playing Clark Kent / Superman.
You know what? George Reeves was a great name for an actor playing Superman. Who was the
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher
Mhm.
Reeves? Great name for a guy playing Superman.
Yeah.
What was it? Sweetwater what?
David Cornsweet.
David
Yeah.
Cornsweet. It sounds like something you'd put into a brownie mix.
Well, we'll see.
I'm gonna have to be sold on that idea.
There's an awful
I
lot
think
riding on
we-
this here Superman movie.
Yeah, I think we've played that out.
Yeah.
Sherlock and Daughter. Is this one you're recommending?
Like I said, if you want a lighthearted some of the reviews I've read basically say they expect the audience to be really dumb, so they sort of solve it for you without letting you feel the satisfaction of knowing it before the detectives get it.
Well, if I want my intelligence insulted, I could watch MSNBC, but I'm not going to do that either. So,
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Sherlock is supposed to be smarter than everybody, so you're not supposed to solve the mystery before Sherlock does.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ellen, have you seen the teaser trailer for the new Knives Out movie?
Oh,
Wake Up Dead Man?
Yes, in fact, I was going to mention that, but it doesn't come out until December, so
I know!
that's a little premature.
Oh, man. I have-
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
very much looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
I have enjoyed those.
They're good.
I didn't
They're
watch
very
the
good.
second one.
You should watch it.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
different.
It's not a
It
waste
is.
of
It's
time.
different.
It's
I liked the first
It's
one.
not as good as the first one.
I think that
but
I
it is-
guessed the first one.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's always part of the fun, though, isn't it? When you're watching a mystery, Ellen, when figure out who did it, and
Yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
the entire fun of it.
Yeah. I enjoy that too.
We've still got to
Yeah.
get Greg to watch Clue, the movie.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I've been busy the last 40 years. I didn't have time.
You've got to.
All right, so we're talking Department Q. That's a thumbs up, right, on Netflix, and sort of a meh on Sherlock and Daughter on Hulu and Max. We thank you for your time, Miss Murray.
I will say one thing that about Department Q, like the reviews were so raving. The only 1-star review I read said it had too many F words in it, so it was just be
Oh, there you
forewarned.
go.
Yeah, that may
So
turn
it's
some
not
people
bad.
off. Yeah.
What's an F word? I have no idea what you're talking about. F
Oh,
word.
by the way, may I mention one other thing unrelated to the mysteries?
Yes, of course.
There is a guilty pleasure show on Netflix called Ginny in Georgia, and season 3 comes out tomorrow. So I'll probably
Ginny
that
in
up.
Georgia?
Me and Georgia.
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
I
Hey.
wouldn't know what that means.
Hey, Ellen, I'm going to go see the Wes Anderson movie this weekend, The Phoenician Scheme.
Oh, I hope you
Nice.
enjoy it.
So we'll talk
Can't
about
wait to
it.
hear your review.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we can get the movie
Okay.
Maven to join us on Tuesday because
Yeah.
we absolutely like to use people who contribute as often as they can. Ellen, thank you so much for your time. You were
Thanks.
awesome.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
5:45. I know you got to split.
Yeah, I got to split out, but it's been great. It's been a fun show today.
It has. We've
Yeah.
hit it all today. And
Yeah.
you're always, you guys, I love being a spectator.
Yeah,
when
we have.
We
Ellen's
bounce
on
off
the
of each
phone.
other. We do.
No, Pamela and Master Thespian with Ellen. That's good radio.
We know our movies.
You
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
You do. You do.
They're guilty pleasures.
Ginny and Georgia. I got to find out what that's about.
A mother and daughter.
Oh, okay. All right. You take care, and we will see you again next week.
See y'all next week.
All righty.
Bye.
We'll check in with Skipper in a moment. You know, this is a kind of a silly theory, but I know that when I love the car I'm driving, traffic jams and things like that don't get to me as quickly. If you're not loving what you drive and your excuse is, well, I don't think I can get a deal on or a loan on a car. All credit scores are welcome at Jack Ingram Select Used Cars. And that's the fastest way to rebuild your credit if you've taken a hit, as many did over the last 4 years. Going back to COVID was a very damaging event for a lot of people in their credit scores. Whatever the case, though, the selection there, starting at just under $5,000, pretty much with almost brand new Porsches, Caymans, Cayenne. They, budget, you'll know what you've got to spend. It's what you spend it on. And there they have an incredible selection of everything from fuel-efficient cars, Honda Accords, cars that are under 10, to, as I said before, as much as you want to spend. It depends on you. But if you want to avoid the new car hit, I'm an 8-time customer there. Their vetting process is second to nobody when it comes to choosing what pre-owned vehicles they sell. So it's a place where you can shop with real confidence. Jack Ingram Select Used Cars and jackingramselect.com. It's the place where quality meets affordability. Do we love how we're driving? Here's our final update from Skipper.
Well, we continue to be busy all over the area this afternoon, especially I-65 and 85 through downtown Montgomery and 85 northbound Taylor to Chantilly. East and East-South Boulevard still loaded up a good bit this afternoon. Some heavy traffic on South Boulevard between Narrow Lane and Woodley. Buckle up, drive carefully. We don't have any issues really other than heavy traffic at the moment. Up to $10,000 off the last of the 2024 Nissan Z cars at McKenna Nissan. It's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Wendell Jake, Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Treat yourself to the home-style goodness of Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Enjoy their lunch special with meat and 3 delicious selections, a drink, and bread, just $9.99 for seniors and $13.99 for regular size. At Epicure and Jack's, they're proud to serve meals made from scratch daily. They're not your typical fast food joint. They're your go-to for fresh, made-to-order goodness. Experience the taste of home at Epicure and Jack's Tavern.
Put the power of Action 8 News in the palm of your hand. Download the free Action 8 News app to stay on top of breaking news wherever you are. Search for WAKA News in your app store to download the Action 8 News app today. Keep your family safe by watching Action 8 News. Look for 8 on your side consumer alerts with product recalls involving cars, food, children's toys, and other items in your home. 8 on your side, keeping you safe only on Action 8 News.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
From our Mr. News Department, I know a while back we talked about White Lotus Season 3, Miss Murray, and Arnold's son, Patrick, on that show doing Full Frontal. Well, his dad did.
Did he? I don't remember
Yeah.
that. I guess it didn't make an impression.
Could be. His father did semi-racy stuff, but they were on TV together on Actors on Actors, and the topic came up. And listen, how would you like your dad to describe you this way?
It was more with leather jackets on and
Yeah,
clothes
yeah.
and playing
Yeah.
a machine. Only the opening scene was naked.
Yeah.
Talking about naked.
Naked.
I've done it.
I couldn't believe. I said to myself, I'm watching your show and I'm watching you with your butt sticking out there. And all of a sudden I see the weenie. And I said to myself, what is going on here? I mean, this is crazy. And then I said to myself, well, Arnold, hello.
the weenie. I
You did the same thing in Conan and in Terminator and all of those films.
genius.
You were naked, so don't complain about it. But it was kind of like a really a shock to me that you would follow my footsteps that closely.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe when your dad, maybe this is why you didn't notice, when your dad calls it a weenie,
That's funny.
that's,
I forgot what Arnold sounded like. It's been a while since I watched an Arnold movie.
me too. Like 30 years.
Oh, it's been more recent. I think I watched Eraser last year.
Oh,
I love that movie.
no, not even the older side. I think the last, honestly, because I'm just not drawn to that genre. The
Mhm.
last thing I watched him in was Kindergarten Cop.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't watched that in forever. I used to love that movie though.
Here's another showbiz story that deserves a moment of our time. Jimmy Fallon hates that some people don't like him. Jimmy,
Well,
let me tell you something. When you sold out to the Trump haters in your network and everything else, I understand. We all want to keep our jobs, right? Nobody wants to be unemployed. But
yeah.
you were a total 24-karat sellout. You even said at the time, and this is all about Trump, not even Obama, but you even said, I don't know if hating somebody that over half my potential audience likes is a smart play. And guess what? You were 100% right. Because the people that watched you goose step behind the rest of the late night hosts, funny how they got nothing to do all day long. Donald Trump. It's getting freaking old. It really is getting old. And this is the kind of thing, this is a broken trust, pal. You're not going to get them back.
No.
And you and all the other hacks that were on the SNL 50th anniversary show, you made me sick. You and Baldwin and all the rest, Tom Hanks playing Bill Maher told you it was a mistake. It was a mistake then. It's still a mistake. And you're never going to be anything more than you are, which right now is overrated.
Stanley spent his life in the saddle, wrangling whatever laugh threw at him. But nothing prepared him for the fight against low T and ED. Shame practically hunched him over. Online pills just gave him a headache. He begged for a lifeline.
Well, maybe it's over.
Montgomery Men's Health said no. Medical conditions, old age, there's hope. This is about real treatments. Science, not one-size-fits-all guesswork. Montgomery Men's Health was designed for men who hate going to the doctor. Personalized plans, cutting-edge treatments, overseen by an actual urologist and providers that take the time to listen. With low T and ED treatments others only dream about, we fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Because every second you wait, your condition could worsen. Act now. Don't let time slip away. Dial 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Your consultation is only $99, including blood work. Then you'll know your T level before you leave. Montgomery Men's Health, making it happen.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Today's show is brought to you by Sectional Couches, the easiest furniture to split when you get a divorce.
Home Free live in concert. Home Free and their 5 amazing voices captured the world as they mixed Nashville standards with country dip pop hits. All vocal country band Home Free bring their tour to the MPAC in Montgomery on Saturday, June 7th. Home Free live, June 7th at Montgomery Performing Arts Center. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com or mpaconline.org. For more information, visit homefreemusic.com.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Have you been thinking about selling your home? Let me ask you, would you want to trust your biggest investment with a part-time agent? You know, the kind who can't make your property a priority until after work at their real job? I'm Hannah Grantham, and you don't get that with us.
That's right. And I'm Eddie Bader. And if they're not focused 100% on your home, can they really even get you top dollar?
I couldn't agree more. We're top producing agents with a reputation for getting results. No side gigs here at Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
So call us today at 334-368-6358 and let us show you why who you have on your sign really matters.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
And now, Dad Joke Theater.
Oh no, darling. We're supposed to drive home tomorrow, but I can't put the car in reverse.
Well, I'm afraid there's no going back now.
Join us again for another Dad Joke Theater.
All right, take care now. How could you let them go?
Most of this country probably wants him to go away.
There's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time.
Take care now. Mommy, could we please talk about this later?
Bye-bye then. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, my baby, bye-bye. Everybody is to leave here immediately.
It's off to Baumhauer. We hope to see you over there. Pamela Dubuque, thank you. You were extraordinary. Master Thespian, thank you. You were awesome too. Miss Murray, awesome. Surrounded by awesome people. I'm the mediocre Greg. I'll see you I was back in the morning with Ricochet and the Cougar.
Adios, muchachos.